There we are. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. We'll restart that again. Hello there, and welcome to episode 8 of Crafty, Brews, and Nerdy News. I'm Brews Smash. This is Bristleboy88 and Grit Spitter. Thank you guys so much for joining this week. We're going to be going through a couple games, and of course wrapping up with some Star Citizen and some questions at the end. I guess first, before we start, we'll kind of go through the drinks that we're enjoying this evening, and then jump into some DayZ talk.
Cool. So, I'm Bristleboy88. Welcome. I'm drinking some peach schnapps and some orange juice, and I've got some pretty dank fucking Russian vodka and some Coke. It's like 40%. It's nasty fucking shit. Yeah.
Makes you strong like Russian.
Exactly.
Good.
I'm Grit Spitter, and I'm going with some really classy high-end beer tonight. It's a Sam Adams Winter Lager.
Yay!
Nothing too exciting, but yeah, delicious. Even though it's like summertime here right now for some odd reason.
Summertime?
Winter.
Oh man, I wish it was summertime.
It's like in the 70s all week here, and normally this is the time of year where it's below freezing and snowing. So
I was gonna say, we just got another couple inches of snow the other day, so I'm super jealous.
yes.
I'm enjoying a very nice black cherry black lager from Session, which is actually brewed from Full Sail. They're actually in the Hood River area here in Oregon. Yeah, it's actually pretty darn tasty. And that's why it's so dark, too. I'm going to be pouring another one. I was going to start my drink early tonight. But, you know. Yeah, well, it sounds pretty tasty. Russian vodka, that actually sounds pretty dang good. I've tried German vodka before. I have not tried Russian vodka, though.
Is that a thing?
I think it's Russian.
It's got
How'd you know? Probably not.
Or Ukrainian? Polish.
Is it...
Produced and bottled in Germany.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it actually Russian, or is it totally brewed somewhere else?
It says German, but it doesn't say. It just says produced and bottled in Germany. So I guess it's German.
It's German vodka. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
But it's
Well, awesome.
nasty.
Nasty. Well, I'm gonna pop this open really quick. Yeah, thanks guys for joining this evening and all that. It's definitely been fun, and I can't believe I'm already at episode or number 8 of the show here. But yeah, actually we kind of have a little bit of a theme tonight. It's all survival, open world, like first person shooters, like, and stuff. I don't know what it is, like, you guys pick the games, but I was like, wow, actually this all kind of like matches well. They're all very open world survival kind of gameplay, which is totally great. And anyways, actually the first one being DayZ here, which was actually one that Bristleboy said that he's been enjoying playing lately.
I wouldn't say lately. I've put a lot of hours into it. Like, I haven't played in maybe the last like month, but there have been a few patches I've gone in and checked out. But it's one of those games you keep getting drawn back to every other patch. So over the last 2 years, I've accumulated like 490 something hours.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is a lot. Yeah, actually.
But I enjoy it.
What's funny is I actually did play DayZ probably like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I didn't realize that was actually just an alpha release, and that it's still in development to this day, and so they actually are doing a bunch of patches and updates, kind of like what we're used to with Star Citizen.
Yep.
Everything is early access these days.
Seriously,
Everything.
Yep.
I did not realize this, but anyways, when I played it a long time ago, it was really cool. What I was kind of reading up on is they got some like new audio technology in. They have like new server login and queue stuff. This is like a patch that they just released, like, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago?
They
Um,
changed all the rendering as well, so everybody can get like 60 frames now in the game. It runs
yeah,
really well.
like
Really?
a better
Mm.
networking, synchronization kind of stuff too. And they said that now that it's like more responsive, even the infected zombies are more of a threat to you because everything's gotten better as far as that goes, which is kind of cool. So they said like your gunshots and if they're all running after you, it's a little bit much more real. Um, an apocalypse, I guess. If we
I
ever
might
have a
have to
zombie apocalypse.
It's one of those games that's very, it can be very unforgiving. If you think you can meet someone, you're kind of like, yo, I like you, know what I mean? And you turn your back on him, you're fucking dead.
Yeah,
Or you literally run into a village, you start looting, you find some stuff, you walk out of a building, and somebody's like sat on a fucking hill, and they've been watching you, and they're waiting for you to collect the gear and kind of bring it towards them, so they don't have to run and collect it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like fuck.
yeah. It's kind of
So you get stitched up a lot, you know what I mean?
like
But it's still fun.
everyone's out for their self, and then sometimes you can trust people. Sometimes you'll trust them for however long they need you, and then they'll just shoot you and take whatever you have. That's happened a lot. um, yeah,
Use you.
they're users.
Users.
So
Punny.
it's so funny. How long have you been playing Daisy, Bristle Boy?
Probably well, about 2 years.
Okay.
Probably over 2 years now. But
Yeah,
it's nice to see where it's come because like there was no vehicles, there wasn't even bikes or anything at the start, so you literally had to run everywhere.
I remember
Then they
that.
put in bikes, and then they started putting in cars, and like now there's buses, and it's slowly becoming good. But like, a year ago, a year and a half ago, it was so shit, but it was still fun to play.
Yeah,
So something about it, do you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. It's still crappy. It's still alpha. Things still jerk around and bug out, but what games don't really do that nowadays? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, especially when you have early access games. I mean, what else do you expect?
Perpetual early access.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. Like after reading up on it, I was kind of like, oh, okay. Actually, I might want to jump in and get that again because it seems kind of fun and it's multiplayer. So, you could definitely get a good group together. Then that way you weren't having that whole like trust issue with like, is this person gonna shoot me or can I actually like go and loot this and
It can
be
actually
safe?
be a bitch to meet each other.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Actually
fuck
find
yeah.
each other.
Fuck yeah. You could spawn like a town away, but it could still take you 40 minutes to get to me.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just, it's a pretty savage game, honestly.
How big is the
But,
game world? Do you know? Pretty big.
no idea. Yeah, it's pretty big, dude.
I haven't
Um.
checked it out in a long time. I'm curious.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's definitely interesting now. And then I guess like oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, are they planning on having like spawn points so eventually you'll like be able to spawn everyone will spawn into like one building? Or is it always just gonna be like a random spawn anywhere on the map?
But I know there's different servers that offer different things. There's like role-playing servers and stuff. But like the official servers, you literally just spawn fucking anywhere. And
Anywhere.
literally with a fucking t-shirt, and that's it. A t-shirt and a flare, I think.
Yep. And you're just like,
It's pretty savage,
hey.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you do any of the roleplay kind of server stuff or do you just like go and
I used to, but I used to do it just with like, not seriously, but just to take the piss with people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to go on and play the dumb guy that doesn't really understand or know the rules, and
For
like,
shits
oh,
and
I
giggles.
didn't know what you meant. Yeah, and I'm just sat there pissing myself. Like, I know exactly what you fucking meant, and I know exactly what I was doing. But yeah, because it happens to you. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of people kind of bumfuck you in this game, so I thought, yeah, well, I'd do it to other people and have some fun at the same time.
There you go, right? Oh, that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
what's probably like one of the few biggest changes that you've seen, like when you first started the game to, where it is now in development? I know
Probably
you
the
mentioned
graphics and the way it
graphics.
runs, because it used to be really choppy. But the new engine is good, so it runs well. But it's cool to see like I don't know. There's different things with the medical stuff that you can do. If you give someone the wrong blood type, you can kill them.
Oh, wow.
You can force feed people jerry cans full of fuel and shit. You can empty a water bottle out and put fuel in it. Like, there's a load of cool little mechanics like that you can do to have a bit more fun in the game rather than just running, surviving, shooting zombies.
Oh,
So
that's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, I know it's a lot of like looting and kind of building up your inventory. Kind of like Ark a little bit. Kind of reminds me a little bit like kind of like collecting stuff just to kind of get somewhere, and then once you kind of have that stuff, then it's a little bit easier.
yeah, there isn't much like crafting
Oh yeah.
in terms of that in DayZ, but it's still fun. I mean, on modded servers, you can build stuff, and they're taking in assets from Arma. So, but that's what I mean. It came from Arma. You know, it was a mod from Arma too.
Oh, that's right.
DayZ, and then they made it a standalone game because it got so big and popular.
Oh, I did not know that either. Could you play Arma 2 a lot, right? Or 3?
That's it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to play Arma and Arma 2, and then there was a. I mean, I was just zombies. It'd be cool to play Arma 2 with zombies, and then there was a mod. And I was just like, what the fuck, DayZ? So this is cool. And then it was like a year after they released it into the standalone. So
That's pretty cool. Oh,
so
that's
the
good.
DayZ standalone I've been playing like 2 years, and the DayZ mod probably 3 years ago. Start playing.
Wow, gotcha. That makes more sense now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
If you ever
there was
want to play
more
sometime,
sinister
let me know.
stuff you could do.
That's fun, dude.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
pretty-
Running from zombies. I mean, how much more stressful
It's
can
hot-
it
it's-
get now?
All the booby traps and stuff. That's crazy.
It's kind of the same as any other game I've played. When you're starting from ground zero with fuck all, that first hour to kind of get yourself established, that's always the hardest hour. Do you know what I mean? That's where you've got nothing. You literally scavenging to survive. Once you've got stuff, you know, you're kind of all right. But it's literally the first starting thing. You need to find a bag. Do you know what I mean? Certain things you need to find. If you can't find them quick, you're gonna struggle.
Yeah. Carrying your
And
loot. Yeah.
And that it is a survival game with the mechanics like you have thirst and
You have
hunger
to eat,
and all that.
and yeah, exactly, yeah. So you have to find food.
Nice.
If you don't have a can opener and you open it with a fucking shovel, you're gonna spill half your food.
Wow,
Do you know what I mean?
that's
There's things like that. So yeah. Makes it fun, dude.
It is pretty cool. And then yeah, the whole zombie apocalypse feel is pretty neat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I guess, you know, talking about that whole survival mode, that's a little bit like this is H1Z1, which is also early access, again multiplayer, and they also have player versus player, and then they have a battle royale kind of feel to it. When I went to PAX West, yeah, it was PAX West, they were really hyped up about this, and they had a whole like booth, not really a booth, it was like they had the chick and there was one other character that was on basically like these pile of rocks, and you could like jump up there with them and like take a photo, and it was kind of like a set like scene, and it was like this pile of rocks, and then like they were at the top of the hill, and it was like, you know, H1Z1 King of the Hill kind of thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which was kind of cool. So, and then I think yeah, they actually did have like this guy with the crown. They would put the crown on him. But I just remember walking by like, oh okay, that's pretty cool. And then when it came out, I was like, oh, it's part of like H1Z1. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, again, this one is kind of like first person shooter. I've actually watched a lot of people play this. I haven't personally played it myself. But it looks pretty fun.
It's a lot like DayZ, as Bristol Boy was describing it, because Bristol and I both play H1Z1 King of the Kill together. It's it is definitely early access. It's one of those games you can't stop playing, but you hate it constantly because it's so buggy, and it has a pretty steep learning curve, but it is a ton of fun.
Gotta be honest. H1Z1 came out after DayZ. Obviously, same premise. when it was originally out, it was just H1Z1.
Yeah.
So you would survive in a big map, like you're doing DayZ. And it was it got a bit tedious, you know what I mean? A bit slow, same as what DayZ did. And it's just, how can we speed it up? We need something to kind of stand out and compete and make people want to come back and play quick turnaround games. So they did a spin-off from H1Z1 and called it King of the Kill. So it's basically the map, you spawn in anywhere in the map, but then there's a circle and there's gas and it gets constricted, you know, and forces the players into a safe zone. If you're not, you're going to die from the gas. And that is a very popular game mode to play, because you can die within fucking 30 seconds of spawning, or you can die with 20 minutes and survive the game.
It's essentially kind of like a Hunger Games scenario, where you're like, what is the deal? You're a group of prisoners, and then you get airdropped into this area. So you always start parachuting in randomly, and then the safe zone is different every time you play, and there's several minutes between each advancement of the gas, so you never know where you're going to end up having to get to, because sometimes you parachute in and you're in the safe zone the entire game and you got really lucky, and then other times it's like, crap, I have 3 minutes to get all the way to the other side of the map and I have no car, and if I don't get there soon, I'm going to die as soon as the gas comes.
Right.
So it makes for some interesting gameplay for sure.
And it's fun too, because you can play singles, duos, or in groups of 5.
Yeah.
So that's interesting too. So we've played a few times with a group of us, and it's pretty fucking interesting. Yeah. I get pretty ragey and salty about it, but you know, it's a fucking game, and it's fun at the end of the day. You know, I rage because of the result, not because of like. Yeah. Because I've lost. Do you know what I mean? I fucking lost at the end of the day. Someone beat me. So I'm a competitive person.
Yeah. Well, it can be really depressing too, because you can, like you were saying, you can parachute in and end up right next to a bunch of other people, and you start with nothing. Similar to DayZ, you need a backpack to carry stuff. You have to find weapons, all that good stuff. And if somebody lands right before you and happens to grab a gun, they're gonna turn around and shoot you the second you land. So you're done in like 20 seconds.
The first minute is vital.
Yeah, it's even worse if you manage to survive, because they can last kind of up to half an hour, I think, if you make it all the way to the end, when the map has gotten to be this tiny little circle, and you can make it all the way to that, and then walk around a corner and somebody just shoots you in the head and you're done. And it's like,
you're like, no,
all that effort.
I worked so hard.
So it's a total random chance, kind of every time you play, how good you're gonna do or how long you'll survive.
Right.
It is quite hard though, because it's not a game where you can take your time. Mm-hmm. You know, where I was used to the original H1Z1, so I'd go in the building. You can see these guys in the video, they kind of go in and scan. If there's nothing on the floor visible, they don't like search the cars, search the bins, search the lockers, search the wardrobes. And in the game, that's what I like to do. I like to fucking find everything, do you know what I mean? So when I went into this mode, I'm like running around looking for shit, and people just killing me. I'm like, what's going on? And everyone's like, you've just got to be speedy. You've just got to run, look. Oh, gun. You've got to be on the move constantly. You cannot, like, unless you're somewhere like really safe, you can't just like stop and start like trying to look for shit, because someone's just gonna fucking kill you.
Or you'll run out of time and the gas will come if you're not somewhere safe.
Yeah.
There's constant pressure, that's for sure. And that has pretty amazing audio too. You can hear gunfights going on. You get really nervous because you really don't want to die quickly. So you're gonna die 9 times out of 10, and it's a pretty big player population. Now, you start with anywhere between like 150 and 180 players parachuting in there. And then,
if you haven't played it, Rue, you should get it. We should play together sometime. It's a good fucking laugh.
The graphics,
even if you're not very good,
it's a little buggy, but it's bizarrely. It's one of those games. It can be really irritating, but it's bizarrely addictive.
Gotcha.
You constantly want to do better.
Yeah, and then I like that map that we're like closing in. That's pretty cool. And And it is a lot like that because not only are you watching the gas, but you're trying to watch for the other players that might be hiding behind a tree or something else. So it's like pressure just of like gas and the pressure of like all these other players. You're like trying to keep track of everything. Like a lot of focus. Like every single time I've like watched streamers play, like they have like this full on like focus phase. Like holy shit, like something's gonna happen.
We normally just try to get cars and drive around and fucking piss around. You know what I mean? We want to win. But we're never gonna win because we always just piss around. Do you know what I mean? We did it the other week. There was
our best rounds when we dick around.
You remember it, Grit? The other week when we met the 4x4 on the hill.
Yeah.
I drove. I flipped this 4x4 off this hill, like spiraled, and it just blew up in the air. It was fucking amazing.
It throws off the hardcore players because you do. Like I said, the audio system's really in depth, so you can hear stuff way in the distance, and everyone's all paranoid about getting snuck up on or shot, and then if you, like we were doing with that, at one point we managed to find 3 squad cars, or a bunch of cars, and we were just running around blaring the sirens, and nobody shoots at you because they're so confused because nobody ever goes out
and gets
and
squad
attract
cars.
attention. Yeah,
oh, they're like, what are you doing?
run around making as much noise as possible. A lot of times you don't get killed because everyone's like, oh, they're trying to trick us or suck us into a trap, and no, we're usually just goofing off.
You have like no intention of anything. Like they could walk out in front of you and be like, hey.
It throws off the real hardcore players. They don't understand. Why are they being loud? This is confusing.
Yeah, right. And actually talking about the hardcore players,
yeah.
They're doing team tournaments now. That's going to be broadcasted on the CW network. It's going to air in April of 2020. Airs April 20th. Sorry. And I guess they're like planning this out like 3 years down the road. But I guess they are like taking applications for like qualifying teams for it. Which is kind of interesting. I guess they're like, you can get $3,000 if you win the tournament or team tournament.
We gotta start practicing Bristol.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess there's gonna be 15 teams competing and 5 people per team. So that'll be interesting. And there's gonna be no respawns. It was one of the other.
That's pretty much how the game is. There are no respawns. Once you're dead until
yeah.
Until
the next round.
It's a big incentive, to try and stay alive. And it's definitely got a lot of microtransaction stuff going on, but it's all cosmetics and skins for different weapons and gear, and which is kind of I don't know how I feel about that, but
yeah, I
definitely not pay to win. So.
Didn't they partner with Twitch because there's all this like purple and like Twitch gear that you can put on your characters, like helmets and crazy T-shirts and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, which
they even have
cool.
You can link, if you're a streamer, you can link your account to the game, and there are special settings for Twitch streamers where you can hide coordinates on the map and things like that, so people can't stream snipe you. But it makes it really difficult for the streamer because it hides it for you too, so you can't tell where you are on the map half the time. I tried it out once. It was not fun.
You're like, no, I don't care.
It's like, no. There's a Twitch delay. They're not going to stream snipe me.
Yeah, like, try it. I dare you to. Oh, that's great. Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't heard of a game before that's partnered with Twitch.
It is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. That they're
kind of sucks though. It's so fucking hard to earn free stuff in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's so rare you get a crate, and when you do, it's often so much shite.
And half the crates, kind of like Rocket League, half the crates you have to pay real money for a key to open.
Yeah.
Right.
There are some other little
to get the good stuff.
That just take forever to grind out stuff.
And I wouldn't want to pay for a key with the ratio of what I've been getting out of. Do you know what I mean? If I got something good out of a crate, I'd be like, wow, cool. That would like entice me to probably buy one. But when I get a crate and I get something that's like worth 20 credits in scrap, I'm like, I've just played 2 hours to get 20 fucking credits scrap.
Yeah.
And you're saying one crate is worth a $5, so 2 hours for £5, $1, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I got something shit. If I'm gonna get something good for You know what I mean? Weigh it up.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by their pricing because that's one thing I like, not to go totally off topic, but talking about crates and buying stuff with real money, Rocket League is pretty cheap for
Yeah, but you,
buying
well,
stuff. It's usually a couple of bucks, but the minimal that will only open like one crate in H1Z1 is $5, like you were saying, which is kind of
yeah,
steep.
it's a little bit different. I know what you're saying with the crates, because the crates are kind of different, but
Yeah,
with Rocket League, you can do it where you can buy the cars.
yeah.
Which means you can actually choose to pick a car that you want to buy.
Mm-hmm. It's
But
interesting.
you can't like pick an armor on that and say, "Oh, I want this armor with these spikes," or "I want that Rasta helmet," or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? You can't pick what you want, which is a shame, because it's your money you spend. It's not like you gamble in it. Like, I don't know. And in the original H1Z1, those crates that you you buy and you open in the menu, you used to have to fucking buy them in game. So you'd pay $5 and
Yeah.
you'd call in a fucking drop. And if there's 30 players playing, guess what?
They'll steal
Those
it.
30 players see this fucking plane flying, they see this drop coming down, and they all go to it. Everyone comes and kills you and steals your $5 crate. Thank you for your money. You don't see a crate. Ta-da. Thanks for playing.
Seriously.
Fucking serious. Yeah.
Oh my god. That seems pretty ridiculous.
There are some interesting little mechanics that are kind of neat in this too, with the gas closing in and everything, and the map getting smaller. They put in some mechanics. There are planes that fly overhead, like Crystal was saying, drop crates with more powerful gear, not a ton of gear, like sniper rifles, things like that. But the planes also, as you progress farther into the match, kind of drop these like napalm bomb runs, which forces people, when the map size gets small, forces people to not be able to hide and just wait things out, because you got to move as soon as you see that plane fly overhead, which is, I think, is kind of an interesting little gameplay thing they did just to keep the action going.
Yeah.
And prevent camping and stuff. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, you really can't camp in this game. I mean, unless you, like, magically spawn where the end of the map's gonna be.
Yeah.
There's
And you
really
don't
not a
ever
lot of
know.
camping.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
So you
very random. Because it'll shrink down to a circle, and then the next circle could be anywhere within that circle. So
Right.
it might be smaller and down here or up
Yeah.
here.
So you
But
could be in
sometimes
the square for like 2 rounds, right? And you'd be like, yeah, I'm sweet.
Yeah.
The next 3 rounds, it could go dink, 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 and you'll be fucking 3 squares away, and it's going to take like 7 or 8 minutes to run there.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you have
you
3
just-
minutes before the gas comes.
Yeah.
You're just like, no! Run!
It gets interesting. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely not perfect, but it's one of those games that just has that little something to it where you just can't stop. It's one of those, just one more, just one more. Just one more.
Because, you know, the rounds aren't too long, so it's easy to say, just one more. I'll be good. I'm going to win this next one. You know.
Yeah.
And recently it got better. For a little while there, the matchmaking sometimes it took like...
Couple minutes, yeah.
Sometimes even over 10 minutes. I mean, it was real bad for a while.
Oh, especially the 5 players in duos,
Yeah.
yeah.
And more recently now, it's almost instant every time you try and start a game. So that
Search, join.
it-
Oh, that was quick, yeah.
It used to make it really bad. Like if you parachuted into a bad spot and died in 20 seconds, you literally spent more
7
time
minutes
waiting for the
loading.
match
Yeah.
than playing the game. But now that's fixed, so that's a lot better.
Yay, that's good. Yeah, so what are your guys' like probably favorite aspects of the game? Probably the gameplay, the quick play, or
For me, in King of the Kill is the adrenaline rush. 'Cause I'm a competitive player, and I like slow things. I like progression, but there's something about it that every time you play, it's a different outcome.
Yep.
You never know if you're in a good spot or bad spot. You just haven't got a fucking clue. You just got to go with it.
Yeah, it's hard to define, yeah, because truly there are rounds where I absolutely hate this game and never want to play it again, and then I do just one more, and then the next round,
it was a blast.
you never know. Especially, I like playing with people more than by myself, and I think the best moments, are when you, as a group, pull something off like crazy or get surprised by another group and manage to survive. You have that feeling of accomplishment where you're just like, oh my god, we did it, we made it another minute.
Yay!
And then you
That's
turn
all.
around a corner and get killed.
Well, we got to the final 6 players. We was all. I think Hydro died. Then there was me, you, and Grit left. Me, you, and Jerry. And we was literally in the bathroom. And I shit you not, the circle was like this. The bathroom filled up, like the circle, and they was outside. Do you know what I mean? They had nowhere to go. We had fucking nowhere to go. And Jerry was like throwing gas grenades in and shit. So the bathroom was all fogging up. No one could see anything. Everyone rushed in and fucking. Oh, it was crazy. But we came second. So
And I love
it was
those
good.
moments too when you're like, as a group, we're all like hiding in a house, all bunkered down, and there's 3 other teams of 5 out in the street right in front that have discovered each other and going at it, and there's noises and explosions and everything, and we're all just kind of like peeking out a window, like maybe they won't see us. We're okay. We'll just wait it out. No, it's fun
Yeah, it definitely
and
looks
irritating.
fun. And irritating.
Yeah.
Fun and irritating. That's great. I had one other question. Oh, I guess
Sorry.
what do you guys see for like development? Because again, this is an early access game. What have they told that they're working on, or what's kind of up and coming for them?
To be quite honest, I have no idea.
I don't. I know that the normal H1Z1, the survival one, there's a lot of crafting options and stuff. And I haven't played much of it. I've played a little bit, but I've only like kind of just skimmed the surface with all the crafting and discovery. There is a lot, but I don't know in terms of the future what they're doing. But it's fun. I'd like to see like another map maybe, or maybe, as I said to you, Grit, like a nighttime mode, or like a
Ooh, nighttime mode would be
afternoon where the
cool.
sun, not so much as night, sun down,
Dusk.
yeah.
That would be.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Maybe a new map, but
They
that
have
other one's
said
still cool. It's
something
still got a
about
lot of variation for gameplay. So, because as Grit said, the square could go anywhere. Sometimes it's in the middle of the fucking city, and there'd be a lot of rooms for people to hide in, a lot of buildings, a lot of alleys, a lot of rooftops. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd be in the middle of fucking nowhere, and it literally have like 2 trees and maybe a rock.
Yeah, big wide open field where no one can hide.
Yeah.
Right.
And has a really steep learning curve. I hope they. I actually haven't really seen much about what the future plans are. I did, like you mentioned, Bristol. They have mentioned something about a new map, or an updated map, but there's a lot of little funky bugs. The physics on the cars is a little strange. They're like it's like they weigh. They're like a feather. You hit a bump and they're just kind of woo.
You're like, that was a pebble. Just kidding.
So I'm sure there's lots of little tweaks they're gonna make. I hope, but
Yeah.
they definitely upgraded. Like I said, the matchmaking got massively improved in the last few weeks, so that's good.
Nice. Yeah, that's
So-
good.
First-person shooter games. You've been playing a bit of Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you finding that?
I mean, I've liked first-person shooters for a while. Overwatch is definitely one of those fun ones. But yeah, I haven't really played. I mean, I used to play Battlefield. Is it 3? On Xbox for a long time. Not like a long time, but my ex like played it all the time. So I'd sit there and watch him, and I was like, all right, I'll play. So I'd play it more than I probably typically would. But I eventually started liking it, like that kind of like open world, and it was a little bit trolly kind of thing. But I don't know, it was kind of fun. I always like freaked out when the cops would come, so I'm like, oh god, run! But I would rather play something more like H1Z1 or like DayZ is probably more of an interest to me than like GTA or something like that. So yeah.
Interesting.
And actually, I was just looking. It's actually only like $20 on Steam right now for the early access, which is not bad in pricing for. Sounds like the amount of fun
Early
you guys
access.
have done. Early
Yeah.
access.
It's definitely priced well
Yeah.
for what it offers.
We need a T-shirt with Dr. Evil, but instead of saying evil, we need to say early access.
Yes.
Early access.
Early access. That's for sure. Oh, that's great. Alright, so like the next survival game that we have on our list here as this seems to be a theme, the Kona Exiles.
Oh, Conuts.
Conuts.
Conuts. I have watched.
Microsoft Dick Simulator.
I've watched a little bit of this game because when it came out last week, there was a bunch of people playing it, obviously. But again, you know, it's that open world sandbox early access survival game. It's on PC right now, and it's going to be released on Xbox and PlayStation 4 is their plan. And it's survival / kind of constructive, you know, building kind of thing. Have either of you guys played it, or what do you guys think of it? I mean, it seems kind of intense, in my opinion. A little bit more intense than Ark.
It's fun. I've put like 100 hours in on the test game in a redacted server.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
we worked together over there.
So I haven't played it single player. I'd only play it like when somebody else is playing it. You know what I mean? Play a bit of co-op. It's fun. The base building's fun. Combat is a little bit iffy. But there was a new patch, and you can actually like talk to, well, not talk, but like there's certain AI that like roam the map, and you can stop them and like interact with them and like learn emotes and waves and shit. It's pretty cool.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did it the other day. I was just like, who the fuck's this guy? I was like running next to him, push a talk. I was just like, yo, who's this? And I was looking at the name. I was just like, what, Exile? I was just like, who the fuck's this? Like, why would there be an AI running around the map? And then he just stopped. I was like, interact, and it's just like learn emote. I was just like, learn to wave. I was just like, sweet.
Kind of neat, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a big patch that
fun.
was released today, right?
No, this was a couple of days ago, but there was a new patch today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it involves, but
it was a lot of bug fixes mostly. It looked like
crash fixes, that sort of thing.
yeah,
More
it's a fun community game.
Yeah, it's got some interesting high-level stuff too that I actually haven't gotten to see yet. It did go down on the sub-server that we were on a couple weeks ago, but at the highest levels you build temples. There's several different gods from the lore of the Conan universe, Set and Crom and all them, and you go through a lot of rigmarole, but you eventually can call the gods in for, I think it's like 60 seconds or something, and just wreak havoc on stuff. So these massive avatars spawn that go to town on everything. I think you have a level of control over them too.
Yeah,
which is kind of neat. It's a little different.
Basically, Matauchi raided our base twice. He did it one night when we wasn't there.
Yeah.
We logged in. We was just like, oh shit, what a mess. We started cleaning stuff up, logged out for the night, and then he fucking raided us again. So just like, fuck you, man. And then board logged on, got his big like squiggly octopus thing,
Cthulhu looking thing,
just like dragged it over their base, like floated it, and then just like went and just fucking squashed everything. It was amazing.
Matauchi would do that. Just kidding.
As a side note, also speaking of the genre that we're talking about all night, the funny thing is I actually normally really don't like survival games. That's not really my normal cup of tea, but lately there's just been a lot of really interesting ones to try out.
I totally agree.
They're getting better. Yeah,
they are getting better. Like Rust is kind of a new one that I've been hearing about. Ark came out with their kind of new expansions, which is pretty cool. Then there's always like the classic Minecraft kind of thing. Because do you play any other ones that are similar to Conan?
I actually played a lot of Ark. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but
yeah.
a fucking enough to kind of put me off it a bit. But
yeah,
the thing, it was fun. The only thing I didn't like was, oh, that's a cool looking dinosaur.
Yeah.
I'll start taming it, and then you're just like, it's gonna take fucking 4 hours that cunt to tame this.
Berries. Have some berries.
It's like,
some more berries.
Yeah.
Would you like some
I'm not
berries?
done that. So, yeah, too long.
Yeah, it was pretty long to train a dragon. I like a dinosaur. You know, dragons are in there too. But yeah, you just kind of seem like you're like, all right, gotta go get the berries. I gotta sit here and then if you don't, like, you gotta go get more, and then it wakes up. You're like, shit. It's like start all over
Or
again.
it's not even that. You fucking leave to go and get more berries, and something's attacked it and killed it when you've collected berries.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
can't defend it because you wasn't there. I'm just like,
It's like a group effort.
That's kind of the biggest issue I have with the, especially the crafting survival games or base building survival games, is that once you've kind of built everything, then what? It just kind of gets samey after a while. It's a lot of repetitive and a lot of grinding. You know, go wherever and mine or chop down 8,000 of these so you can build the next thing. And then once you've built it, it's kind of like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Why am I going to keep playing?
Yeah, it's true.
It's tough. But it's one thing that I think Conan, obviously, again, early access. So but they're dropping patches pretty frequently on this. They're definitely,
pushing them
actually,
out.
I think the devs even said that they were surprised how popular the game was when they dropped it. So they're really pushing to run with it and make it better.
I've heard they're doing stuff for community workshops too, right? For mods.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's got
That could be really fucking cool, man.
And
because people would be able to do drawbridges, we'd be able to do like fucking different traps, we'd be able to make. I know they've said they want to do trebuchets, so we'll be able to make like big fucking catapults and shit. We'll be able to do loads of cool stuff, man.
Yeah. They well, I think this.
And make like, do you know those big batroom rams that you get, like that swing, and you better get those and fucking knock people's walls and doors through, because you can get those big metal gates. If you get like a big pole and just fucking swing it and knock it through, it'd be wicked.
Definitely got potential, and I think this was Funcom that did it. Who also did the Conan MMO that came out? Was it last year? That kind of fell on its face after a while because it had no high level content. And I think they've learned their lesson, like with the avatars and the gods and stuff in this. I think and the upcoming like siege weapons and stuff. They're trying to make this game more about the high level rather than the journey getting there.
Right.
Which is good, because most of these games, like I was saying, these crafting survival games, it's always about the journey, and then you get everything, and it's kind of okay. Now what?
Is the crafting pretty simple? Because I know even for like Ark, for me when I was playing, I was constantly looking up like how to make, because I could see it in the game, I just didn't know how to make it, so I was kind of felt like I was always constantly like researching on the side like how to make that certain item or craft it.
It's fairly intuitive. What do you think, Bristol?
It could be a little bit better, but you know, it's pretty intuitive when you go, I want to make this sword, and just like, why the fuck can't I craft it? And then you're like, well, maybe if I go to this bench, I can craft it. You look at the bench and you're just like, oh, it says I need this and this, but do you need that and that in your inventory, that and that in your crafting table? And you get like, it's confusing.
And most of the stuff you can craft, you learn from leveling up. There's skill trees where you can pick, you know, what things.
Yeah, so it's not
to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, you can skip it. You can skip certain things if you don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to go like level 1, level 2, level 3. Oh, I want this, but fuck that. I don't need a dagger. I don't need a bow and arrow. I'll just go straight to learning a sword or learning a shield or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Especially when playing with a group, so you can have somebody who learns all the stuff to be a blacksmith, and somebody else who learns everything to make furniture, and somebody else who learns everything to build the structures. And it does work out, and you can hover over them, and it'll show you
what they've
you
learned.
need.
But here's a but, right?
Yeah.
Grit learns how to make the fucking cool weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's coming? Grit doesn't play tomorrow. I log on, I'm like, oh, I want to go and play. Oh, I got no weapons. I can't fucking make them. Grit's not on to make any.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Oh, there's none in the storage box because everybody's took them. Oh, no, what am I going to do? Like, that's the only problem. But, you know, if you play long enough, like, you can learn that thing yourself, so.
Kind of sounds like he's slacking, in my opinion.
Hey, to be fair, I was behind everybody else in level. I couldn't make
hilarious.
anything useful.
That's funny.
But that does happen. We had, well, Board, for example, was grinded the hell out of some leveling and basically had access to a ton of high level stuff. But if, we had a bunch of people from the US and the UK playing together, and if he was asleep, we couldn't make some of the stuff we needed because he was the only one that knew how to make it. So someone else would have to go and grind and grind and grind just to learn it, even if they didn't want to learn it.
Gotcha.
So that's a little funky, yeah.
It kind of sounds like a
that's probably
clan,
more
though.
coordination, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that Redacted and Test is kind of joined together in forces on the game. Because,
that was fun.
When it is a lot of building, it helps to have like a large group of people that are like around the world, because even when some people are sleeping, there's still other people that are up, for them, and they're still building and kind of keeping things alive.
Yeah.
What would have been cool was if it was like all of those communities against public people, but it was all of us against all of us. Do you know what I mean? So it was like Gambo's group and Matauchi's group, Twerk's group. There was a couple of other smaller groups around. You know what I mean? CIG was on there.
Oh, sweet.
So
that's pretty awesome.
we kind of segregated off into our little groups within the community. But then that made spoils within the community. You did this to us, we weren't there.
Well, and that's
people bitch and moan. It's what happens. But
work out your own server rules and stuff.
If we would have gone on there together and said, right, it's the Star Citizen community, you don't attack one of your own, but anyone else is fucking fair game. Do what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We would have all worked together. That would have been wicked, because we would have just dominated any server we went on.
And everyone learned very quickly, don't go anywhere near Captain Xylo. Because
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
destroy everyone.
You will destroy everyone. Oh,
Vicious.
Silo. Is he
Yeah,
supposed to
my
be
first
making
thing into the
friends?
Yeah. When I first logged in, started running up to where Twerk's base was, naked man.
Yeah.
There's a door, knocking on the door, CIG's door. Hello, anyone there? Waving. Out comes fucking Xylo, looking at me, and he just pulls out a fucking spear and chasing me, and he's just like, hey, you motherfucker.
Hey.
Motherfucker. Damn,
Apparently he takes his
Xylo.
survival games very seriously.
Very seriously.
Yes.
To the realist. That's awesome.
He gets immersed.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it definitely seems like a fun game. For sure. Yeah, so I guess,
The physics are good.
the physics, that's good.
Yeah.
Specifically for genitalia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was like, yeah, I've watched people play. It seems kind of intense. Like, character creation, very real, very real.
I can't believe Twitch is okay with it. That's what blows my mind. No problems streaming full frontal physics-based Conan nudity on Twitch, apparently. But
Well, they do say when nudity is in the game, because it is part of gameplay, that it doesn't really violate their TOS. Because even in Witcher 3, there's some pretty intense
that is true.
scenes and that sort of thing. And I don't know. I mean, some games...
Witcher 3 definitely doesn't have an endowment slider on their
Yeah,
character
nope.
creation screen.
Endowment
I'm pretty sure his balls don't jiggle in the wind either.
Yeah, you can quite literally physics-based teabag your victims in this game.
I teabagged Twerk.
Yes.
I don't know where the clip is, but I teabagged Twerk the other day.
Oh,
It was so funny.
Too. Yeah.
He
Oh,
Very
logged out.
disturbing.
He logged out the game, and his character's just fucking passed out asleep on the floor. Just gone over and crouched above him, and you're as your character crouches, your balls dangling between your legs. It's amazing.
It's horrible. It's wonderful and horrible at the same time.
So, I mean, there's obviously clothes in the game, but do most people just run around naked? Because why the hell not?
You always spawn naked. Always.
Always.
Because whenever you die, all your stuff stays in a loot bag next to your body.
Next to your body. Okay, so that is
Yeah.
kind of like Ark. Except Ark, you
Yeah.
have a little bit of a cloth.
Yeah, there's none of that. There are server settings. You can set it.
Yeah.
Not allow full nudity and stuff, but of course.
I mean, why? Why would you do such a thing?
It's the redacted test community. Just full frontal, all the way.
Oh, no way. Oh, that's hilarious. So what have you guys built in the game, other than cool swords and stuff that people can't access when you're gone?
Well, that was actually, I think, how a lot of drama ended up happening. Is for whatever reason, a bunch of us formed up. Bristol and I were part of Twerk and Board Gamers group, and we ended up having a really good group that built kind of this sprawling epic base to the point we were building walls and closing off valleys and accesses to a whole section of the map, and it was pretty amazing. Actually, I hope you have some screenshots because it's all gone now. The server resets and patches and stuff. It's
No,
been
I don't.
but
But basically, there was like
pretty epic. Yeah.
for them to get up through the north, there was like a valley and a walkway. Do you know what I mean, with waterfalls, so you couldn't go up the lake specific, but you could like go up the side. So me, I built a fucking like a bridge going across the waterway, and then a blockade off, and it was a fucking toll booth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people who spawned up, I was just like, well, you got to pay 75 wood or 75 fiber. You got to pay me. Do you know what I mean? You want to fucking come through? Pay me. If not, you've got to find the long way around. Do you know what I mean? I want to make that was my type to make money in the game. You know.
Bristol built this like King Kong-esque. It was like a 6-7 story wall.
It was so good.
It was amazing.
With archers all on the top and big spears with flames on it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
The Matauchi came at night and fucking knocked most of it down.
Oh,
Within
what?
that walled-in area, though, we had a guild, but everybody in the group pretty much had built their own house as well. So we had kind of this sprawling town surrounded by walls, which was pretty wild. Bristol and I both had multi-story buildings kind of built into a cliff face. It was neat. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with the construction in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
They can build some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I saw a screenshot from the Astropub, I think, with that 6-story wall. It was out on Twitter, right? I think
Probably,
he like posted and it was like he was gonna play the game or something that night, and it had that wall in there. So when you said 6-story wall, I was like, hey, I remember seeing that. Yeah, that was pretty intense. That's pretty crazy. That's great. That's cool that you guys got to play with, CIG and all those guys. Kind of another game instead of Star Citizen.
I think everybody needed a break. It was good timing.
Yeah, for sure.
Something different to do.
Cool. Do you know much of like the lore or fiction part of Conan?
I honestly don't.
All I know is fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger played Conan in a film. That's all I fucking know.
That's all you
Said
know.
Crom. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't. I don't keep up, but it is a really popular. More so than I ever realized. That's why it's been doing so well. Apparently, is because there is just a huge fan base for the Conan canon and lore.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew about that, but pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Well, definitely another game to check out. I believe it's out on Steam, correct?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know how much it is. Is it at like full price right now for $60, I believe?
Was £26, so probably $29.
Okay,
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not the full 60, so about $30. That's not bad actually at all.
No, not really.
That's pretty cool. And then I guess there's water and everything there too, so you can. I mean, is there gonna be ships and stuff in the game? I assume, so you can eventually learn how to build ships.
I don't know.
That'd be cool. There's going to be different. There's talks of different biomes and stuff. At the moment, we're in. It's a fucking desert. You start off in a desert, and then it's kind of like
Some oasis
canyon oasis thing. Yeah. There's some kind of pools of water, some rivers going through, but it'd be cool to see like a big rainforest or snowy mountains. Some really cool stuff you could do with that.
There is a lot of lore in the game. I never really got to check out a lot of it or a lot of the map, but there's ruins and there's some scripted little NPC interactions, especially when you start. So I think they're trying to eventually kind of flesh out, maybe not really a storyline, but some kind of thing that kind of plays along with you in lore.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a game that's getting built out, and it's keep an eye on it. If not, if you're already in it, enjoy playing it. Yeah, so I guess next on our list here, which I feel like is gonna be the bulk of the conversation as we all play Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Did somebody say Star Citizen?
Yes. I feel like we're all quite a bit obsessed with this game, in my opinion. But
Fucking chairman.
yeah.
What's Star Citizen?
What is the Star Citizen you speak of? 2.6.1 and Spectrum are live. Probably the biggest thing going on right now. You know, regional servers, the mega map, ship and weapon balancing has kind of gotten a little bit better. I haven't jumped in and played probably for about a week. Just been a little bit busy, but I did get to watch the ATV today, which was pretty cool. You know, the ships that they're working on, and then item system and damage system that they're working on too, is all very fun and exciting things. What have you guys been up to in the realm of Star Citizen?
Go for it, Bristol.
I've not been doing too much. I've played a little bit of Star Marine. I've been playing a little bit of Crusader, just going through the missions again. I've kind of been checking out the different servers, the region things, and seeing what that's like, seeing how it balances out pings and stuff, because that's going to be important, because I've obviously got friends all over, so I want to know that I can fucking play with them or they can play with me, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And if you're logging onto an Australian server and you're getting fucking 12 ping, 12 frames, you know, it's going to be a tough day, so...
It would be tough. Yeah.
It's coming along. It's coming along. It's hard at the moment because I've kind of done through everything tenfold. There isn't anything like new at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of recurrent for me.
Yeah.
Even after
The only thing that's new is the servers. You know, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Even after the like 2.6 release, where they had kind of the couple extra missions with the big Benny's hedge and everything. It just seems like a lot of people have kind of like already gone through that.
The thing is, right, with that, the community is going to be the community, right? You get an Easter egg, it's an Easter egg.
Yeah, once it's...
Do you want it to be fucking an Easter egg that's an Easter egg that you want every player to actually have to fucking find, or do you want it to be, yeah, go over there, turn left, second door on your right, get down the corridor, up the stairs, you don't fucking want that. You don't want to know where it is. It's not an Easter egg. Like, people find it, and that was a thing that got found like that.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking knew about it, and within 2 or 3 days, everyone knew how to get there.
Yeah.
To me, that's not an Easter egg. It wasn't hidden easy enough. Like, you know what I mean? But that's just me.
You know, a place.
I think it's a teaser of an Easter egg, you know, of what's to come in the game later on. Because we are still in a very small, enclosed area, don't forget, so...
That's true,
and not to be salty about it, but it was more Big Benny's, which, that's a dead horse. I don't even care if it's a different vending machine or something. Big Benny's is kind of...
They should have done the Pips one.
Yeah, exactly. I would have been fine with that.
Where's the fucking Pips love? I mean, we've got all this Big Benny's love.
Yeah.
All the Big
Pips love?
Where's the Pips love, man?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna. That's another T-shirt idea. Where's my Pips?
Where's my Pips?
Because that can mean a multiple of things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually is really true. Pips.
Pips. It's actually kind of cool because oh my gosh, why are all the names like leaving my mind right now? What is his name? WTF Source. He's building a Pips machine right now, like in real life.
Yeah. He's had that for a while now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's been an ongoing project for like 6 or 7 months.
For a long time. It's like he finally got the machine. That was like getting stuff printed. Yeah, because when I talked to him at PAX West, he told me the idea, which was a while ago. And I was like, really? I was like, Pips machine, eh? And he's like, yeah. And then like when I was like watching his stream, he's like, it's still coming along. I was like, oh my gosh, he's still doing that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so what was in ATV today? What was your guys' like favorite highlights?
What do you think? I really liked the LA studio update section was incredible. There was a lot of good info in there. The Spectrum stuff was interesting, but kind of everything you can tell just from what's been said in the past, except for they briefly towards the end started talking about some of the VoIP integrations and what that will do in game, which was really neat actually. But the item system 2.0 stuff was good to know, that because they've been talking about that forever, and it's a big system. It takes a lot of doing to get it going, but that is finally in production. It sounds like the code is done, or at least the I guess you would call it the alpha version of the code. The very first iteration is done, and they're starting to move that over. And I was really surprised how detailed that was, because they've talked about it for a long time, that we're going to be able to swap out, you know, like shield generators and avionics packages, and then replace fuses and things. But in that demo, them showing like a little handheld device and even being able to take out the battery and turn
that shit was fucking
off and on.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about it until you just said that shit that he was doing on the table was fucking cool, man. I literally forgot about it until you said it.
That was the most exciting thing to me, because that has huge ramifications across the game. Such a little detail like that.
Yeah, from that to all your ships. Think of all the different things you can be.
But it's a thing, you like, maybe you'd look at your gun and you'd go, I don't need my scope on. Do you know what I mean? For instance, I'm going inside a building. I don't need a fucking ×4 scope on. Maybe I can just pull that off. Or, oh, let me check my magazine. Oh, I've only got 4 bullets left. You may not have a weapon count. You may have to check your ammo, depending on how deep they go with that item mechanic.
Well, if you're wearing,
it's got a lot of potential.
If you've got a handgun and you're wearing a suit that's not a military suit or a suit of armor, it may not have the ammo. So you would have to do that. You'd have to pop it out and be like, all right, this is how much ammo I have left, because there's going to be lots of different types of HUDs and customization. I even wondered about that, if it would even apply to armors, maybe, or the Mobi-Glass. They long time ago talked about how the Mobi-Glass was going to have different chips that you could buy and put in that would have different apps and different functionalities. So that's all wrapped up in that system. So that system getting into main production now means a lot of good stuff is coming down the road.
They showed off the heavy armor too.
Yeah.
Again.
Heavy armor looked good.
And said that's in final state. What else was it? The Marine one, and something else was being made.
The Outlaw Heavy and the Marine was done, I think. The Heavy Marine was done, but the Outlaw Heavy's in final white box, I think.
Art phase or something, I don't know, yeah. Something.
Mock phase. Gray box, white box, something like that.
Actually,
the
Scuba
soon phase.
Yeah. Scuba made a good point in chat, which is something I noticed today immediately. I wonder if you guys... There's no way you didn't notice this, I don't think. I'm curious whose idea it was to...
It was
messed up in editing and had the background music louder than the people talking. Especially in the opening with Chris and Sandy.
I know.
You could barely hear anything.
Midway through it was the same too, man. I was just like... At first it was playing and I had someone stream playing. I was just like, maybe it's just music from there. And then I muted the stream. I was just like... Looking at all my tabs, I was just like... I got 3 screens. I'm like, looking around like, what the fuck? Where's this noise coming from? I muted everything and it was still that. I was just like, no way.
It was really loud.
It was pretty bad editing, to be fair.
But the stuff with Spectrum, though, was a lot of stuff we kind of already knew they were working on and was coming. But I liked his description, and I've talked about it a lot, the VoIP stuff. I'm really excited about the VoIP stuff, especially the positional audio and how it'll have filters depending on where you're wearing a helmet or not. But I never thought about what he described today with that system where even within the ship itself, you can select like a PA system versus crew communication. So passengers can't hear you. You can talk directly to your crew or your party or whoever, or you can flip on a PA and, you know, if there are boarders or something, start yelling at them over your ship PA. Yeah. But that was kind of a neat little thing that I hadn't thought about. That's kind of a cool feature.
Yeah, I think it's back to coming up to like an exciting time with being in the game, especially with hopefully 3.0 being around the corner, and actually, yeah.
I just want to be able to shout to my crew that's like not stood near a fucking window or can't see outside the ship. Brace for impact!
Yes.
Just see everyone like grabbing onto the fucking wall and shit.
Flip on the red warning lights. Yeah.
That'd be wicked. I can't wait. I honestly can't wait for 3.0 to crash. I want to purposely fucking crash land on a planet to see if I can damage the ship enough for it to not take off, but still survive in the ship. You know, like lose a wing or a fucking engine or something. That'd be amazing.
I can't wait.
That's gonna be awesome. I am super stoked about all that. Like landing on planets. When that happens, it's just gonna be so exciting.
That's what I've been saying.
I want to get as many people into one ship as I can and just like crash into a planet with everyone on it and be like, yeah, you're all dying. Just laugh as we're like plummeting down. Yeah.
I've talked about it before. I'm curious what you guys would like to do with the question being, what's the first thing you're going to do in 3.0? The first thing I want to do, it's a little cheesy, but I want to go to a planet. I want to land on it, and I want to watch a sunrise because of the lighting tech that they've introduced with the totally unexpected bonus of having the sun as a light source in the atmosphere system they've created, having these natural sunrise and sunset effects that they didn't really plan on, that just kind of happened with the tech. I really want to go watch a sunrise, get back in my ship, fly around to the other side of the planet, and watch a sunset.
Watch it.
Yep.
Watch it again.
That's all I want to do. From the opposite side of the planet, go and watch the sunset, just because of the planet spinning and rotating around the sun. I think that would be wild. And then go crazy and explore. But maybe have a drink with the sunrise and have a drink with the sunset, and then go tool around on a dragonfly for the next 10 hours.
I know, yeah, that dragonfly is gonna be so useful. You're just gonna be going everywhere.
What do you guys want to do when we get 3.0? What's your ideal situation?
Roll in the game?
No, just like the first moment you get to log into 3.0 and oh my god, it's a solar system with procedural planets. What are you gonna do?
I'm definitely gonna spawn my warden, and I'm just gonna go to the closest planet, land, just anywhere on the planet, and
nice.
Yeah, then like hopefully the dragonfly will be out by then. Just pull the dragonfly out, fly around. Yep. I think exploring seems like it's gonna be really fun for me. I know the water and stuff isn't gonna work right away, but once you're gonna be able to like dive into water and everything, that's gonna be super fun. Just to explore all of that.
I think they said you might, at least in the first pass, be able to swim like on the surface, just not go
dive under. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might do that first
then. What's it called? Is it Comstab? When you turn your ship and you can like turn backwards and you still go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to like set my trajectory for the fucking planet, and then turn my Comstab on so I'm facing backwards. I want to enter the atmosphere going backwards and see what the fuck happens.
Just to see what happens?
For science. And then the second time I want to go down and try and land, but without landing gears on. Would like a plane landing, you know what I mean? Not go down and like, I want to go down and actually make a fucking like a drift and crash landing in the desert somewhere and see if we can survive. That'd be wicked.
Nice.
Yep. And then,
but first, I'm definitely going to be going backwards and just seeing what happens. It's going to be chaos.
It's going to be chaos.
Chaos. I love it. Anarchy.
I'm going to do it in like a Connie or a Starfarer as well. It's going to be wet. It's going to be wicked.
I'm going to be really rude and run to the bathroom real quick. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm shame. Too with the bladder the size of a chipmunk. I can't help it.
No worries.
I'll be fast.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so then I guess the new damage system, which was also in ATV today, they had the random organic damage effect, which will be kind of part of that procedural planet kind of thing, because you are definitely going to encounter some damage when entering planets. So that's going to be cool. And they had so when you had the clothes on, they definitely like made parts of your body like sections, and they kind of mapped that out, so that way when you have a jacket on, it would know that to ignore those parts or
different layers, right? Yeah.
Which I mean,
because we'd seen that previously. There was times where it's kind of showing them as things glitching through, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and your shoulder pads or the back of, you know, especially on the back, you know, your shoulder blade, you see that a lot of the time poking through the t-shirt as a.
Or some of the skin.
So, yeah, it's good that they're getting that layered system working correctly, so you can see proper t-shirts. Not, you know, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like tech takes time to put into place, you know, and I'm glad they're taking the time to do it right, as opposed to just chucking it in and being shit.
Right, because I mean we've obviously seen in other games they've already figured that out, and yeah, it is actually cool because it is hard to do. But you know, other games have like figured that part out. They could have easily just, you know, maybe gone through, done the same thing over again, but they wanted to make sure that it was done right and it's going to work with the rest of the game code, and they didn't cut corners on it, which is just great to see the detail that they're willing to put into the game.
What did you think of the Explorer suit?
I don't know.
That was the one I couldn't think of. I just seen it in chat.
Oh
Jordan
yeah, the
put
Explorer
in.
suit. Quite frankly, I feel like I'm gonna constantly be wearing the heavy armor suit. Because I know that my aim and my luck of the game, I'm just gonna get shot at a lot. So I'm just gonna constantly be wearing a heavy armor suit. That or the little jumpsuit to go travel. Like if I don't know, maybe even then I might even wear heavy armor. But yeah. I did actually, the exploration suit, I actually didn't see that in the ATV today.
That looks really good.
It showed it. It's cool. It's cool. It's kind of a mix. There's like armor pieces. I'm saying armor is in like, as you would imagine, like a hard piece material. But then there's pieces like in the chest that just literally look like a soft fabric, kind of like you would expect like a Kevlar t-shirt, you know, you'd expect to see the soft fabric at the front. That's what it kind of looked like to me. It was like a Kevlar mesh on the shirt. Had a very cool look to it, but it was all beige and like a sandy. I'd like to see a little bit more, you know, kind of texture style to it.
That's what I'm curious about when we're gonna get, because they've talked about using the same damage tech for the ships on the armors and the suits and the aging and weathering. That's kind of what I'm curious to see when that comes, because that'll be really neat. I'd love to have like an ancient, or you know, a flight suit or whatever, or a suit of armor that I've used for like a year in Star Citizen, to the point where it's just like a patchwork of
it's like barely hanging on.
Yeah, and
by a thread.
Shiny new pieces and old worn pieces, and yeah, it'll have that's one of the things that fascinates me the most actually about the immersion in Star Citizen is all of that, because over time, with the huge variety of ships there's going to be, and over time having like the new model ships, and then seeing all these things where you recognize, oh, that's a Hornet, but having it look totally different from another Hornet because it's been repainted or hasn't been painted but it's been patched up, and kind of that Millennium Falcon-y look on a lot of ships. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to create a lot of diversity.
Yeah,
so
sure.
not everybody's walking around like, you don't see 6 guys in the same armor or the same exploration suit. It may be the same exploration suit, but they won't all look identical. That kind of stuff really is going to be neat down the road. Especially
like what we were talking with that item system that they're kind of working on, is the customization of, oh, I don't want that on my armor. I mean, if that's going to be there, but if that is there, it'd be like, yeah, all the suits would almost look completely different.
Well, we've got a very, very basic implementation of it now in Star Marine with the 2.6, because you can actually choose to have a light or heavy helmet, or light or heavy, you know, not boots or gloves, or doesn't go that specific, but you know, you can choose helmet or armor itself, outfit sort of thing. So later on, you're going to be able to choose gauntlets and your gloves and you know, boots, knee pads. You'll be able to go all specific of what type of shit you want, and it's going to be really cool.
And I think they've talked about even the armors are different beyond even that customization. Well, like I was saying earlier about the Moby-Glass, I think even the helmets and stuff, you'll be able to put different HUDs in them and different scanners and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be really neat. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of diversity. Because that's one thing that kills me in a lot of other games, is when you see groups of people in the same stuff and they just look the same.
all
constantly
the time.
wherever you go. Yeah.
They only got like 5 outfits or whatever. Yeah, and I think
being able to look at a guy and be like, I'm not gonna mess with him because obviously he's been through some shit and has survived because
and survived.
Yeah. That's gonna be neat. Yeah.
Yeah, and talking about like that item tech, even the whole like changing like the core engine code to increase the amount of content that they're going to be able to put in the game, and then on top of that, it's like it's not going to sacrifice the performance of that server or affect anyone else. You're going to be able to make all those customizations, and it's still going to be nice and easy and flow and fun to play. You won't lose the fidelity.
That's one thing, kind of a tangent that I've talked about. One of the things, my interest in Star Citizen, like I'm not one of those streamers you can go to and be like, what's the best loadout for a Hornet? My interest is largely more on the tech side and the development. And I talk about it a lot. I think what really is interesting, even beyond Star Citizen, their partnership with Amazon and Lumberyard, and that, just like you were talking about, the tech that's going to allow for high fidelity in an MMO, they're basically creating the first, and there may be other developers out there that are doing it behind closed doors, I'm sure, but they're basically the first ones that we know of that are truly making a next gen MMO netcode that utilizes modern high-speed cloud computing, everything. Because most MMOs, the graphics are very dumbed down because they're using netcode that was created 10 plus years ago for internet that could only handle a certain amount. And much like everything in Star Citizen, it's because they don't have a publisher, and they can take their time. They just have the opportunity to do something that probably anybody else could have made. Any of the technology they're making right now in the last 5+ years, they just couldn't because of time constraints, budget constraints, and publisher constraints. So there's a lot of really cool tech that's going to come out of this game, even if you're not into space games or Star Citizen itself. It's going to be a big game changer going forward, I think.
Yep.
But that excites me.
They're definitely putting in the time to build out all new tech any way that they can,
And it's pretty.
And it's pretty. It's so pretty. Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, I think Spectrum is pretty cool. Like they said, with Discord and all these other chat channels are so popular. Is that a cat?
Yeah.
It's a cat. But so cute. Sorry, so distracting. Like cat. But they're definitely trying to make Spectrum useful because they do know kind of like what they're up against. Yeah, like why not use Discord? I mean, everyone's on Discord right now. And so making those differences and upgrading and updating the forums and how they work is definitely going to help. And then they do have plans of how it's going to integrate into the game, which is going to be cool to see that. Especially the VoIP stuff. Yes.
Very, very curious. Because that was a big issue. They talked about that long time ago. Like you're saying, Discord, TeamSpeak, stuff like that. Because there are certain game mechanics that involve the VoIP. And in a lot of other games, people get around those mechanics by using a third-party thing like Discord or TeamSpeak. And now it's pretty brilliant, actually, to do what they're doing with Spectrum and integrate it in the way they are, because it'll not necessarily force you to have to use it, but it will be more beneficial to you to use it rather than go third party, which then allows it to be integrated into the game to be more robust in the game features of the VoIP and stuff. It's clever. They're very clever at CIG.
They are. Because think, like, on your mobiGlass, you're probably going to have a Spectrum app where you can be in-game checking stuff on your Spectrum that people were talking about, or maybe you can set plans up in there, and you could do that from you're on your lunch break and then you're gonna go meet up with them a couple hours later and then be able to pull that information up while in game. All this stuff is just really cool how they're all gonna be integrated.
One thing with the VoIP that I hope they do it, and it sounds like that's kind of the plan. They mentioned this a long time ago, But if it is integrated into Spectrum and you do have a mobile app and a desktop app, this is super nerdy, but I would love to be like out running errands and get a notification on my phone that I got an incoming call over Spectrum, and it's somebody I play with in game, and it uses the in-game voice. So when I like answer it, I can hear them in their helmet and like hear stuff exploding in the background.
Yes.
Oh my god, get home and log on! I'm in trouble.
Holy shit!
That would be kind of neat. It's super nerdy, but it would be very cool.
Just imagine like the people around her, like you answer it like on either like speaker or even just like, oh my god, who's around you? How many ships?
Look at them very seriously and say, I can't tell you about that. I'd have to kill you. It's a matter of national security. Gotta go.
You're getting attacked by aliens right now? Oh my god.
It's happening.
No way, man. I'm not gonna let that happen. Stay calm. I'll be there. They're like, what the fuck's going on?
Cause a scene. Just drop my groceries and run out the door.
Just like run. Oh man, you're like on the news thing.
Strange event at Kroger
Strange
today.
event. Man says his friend was getting. No, just kidding. Oh, that would be great though.
Yeah.
I would
I don't
totally
know if that'll
take
happen or not, but yeah.
It would be cool. I would totally take a call in public over some stupid
Exactly.
game. Just like, yep, this is happening right now. You're in a meeting. One moment. I'm just kidding. Oh man, that would be fantastic. But yeah, at first, like when I was at CitizenCon and they were doing the 3.0 demo, and they brought up Spectrum, and they talked about Spectrum for a large part of the CitizenCon, because they were originally supposed to talk about, Squadron 42, and that didn't happen. So they were just trying to like fill in, and I felt like it was probably more time than needed. But I feel like some of this information that maybe they were planning on releasing now was kind of like put in there because they kind of had to.
True.
So it feels a little bit repetitive in that fact, but it's still cool to see that now it's like released and this is a development behind it and their plans for it. So,
and it sounds like they were saying, it sounds like they're really going to try to push pretty consistent. He was even saying possibly weekly. I would imagine maybe a couple times a month, concurrent updates to Spectrum, because it's something they can do on the back end. It's not like we have to download a 30 gig patch every time
right?
Spectrum updates.
Yeah.
Delta Patcher, where are you?
Delta Patcher. Right, yeah. So yeah, that's all cool stuff that's coming into play at the moment. I guess actually I do want to ask both of you guys, because both of you guys have been on their happy hour.
No, I have not.
Oh, you have not. I heard that maybe not.
That guy. Which way am I pointing? That
That's
guy
right.
has.
Bristle Boy. We're all so jealous. How was that experience, Bristle Boy?
It was awesome, man. Like it was weird, kind of surreal, because
Had to be.
over my years, like, and a bit of streaming, like I'd had a few goals I'd kind of set myself. I was like, oh, I'd love to be on the Astropub, the round table. Oh, I'd love to be on the base radio, like just as a few things as like a fan of the community and of the game,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, fuck, I'd like, one of my top goals is like, imagine being on a CIG stream, like because they already had like a segment where they'd like kind of hosted a few streamers on a small part of the show. And they had like Captain Richard on there. You remember that that part?
Yeah, I remember that.
So I was just like, I'd be cool to be on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was kind of my goal to be as like in a segment of like ATV or something or RTV. But to be on like a full fucking hour show, I was just like, yeah, that goal achieved for me. That was amazing.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, it was.
That is awesome.
I know. It's pretty cool to see which people they're actually bringing on, and actually another thing that was in ATV today when you brought up the little snippet of people, Test Squadron kind of snuck into the ATV today, which was kind of cool. Just
yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I was like
little Montoya action.
We're talking of happy hour. I was on with Josh Herman.
That's right.
Josh Herman's gonna be on again tomorrow, and what they're doing is actually creating a character live on stream via the contribution or whatever, voting, blah blah of the community.
Live
So
votes.
he's going to be on stream live creating a fucking creature or animal or something for the fucking game.
Yep.
It's probably going to be an antelope with fucking 12 legs and 8 wings or something. You know what I mean? Something fucking stupid. It's going to be like something from No Man's Sky. But yeah, we're going to see Josh Herman build something tomorrow. So
don't say that word.
Stay tuned.
No Man's Sky. No. Yeah, I saw the picture that they were passing around that kind of looked like Groot. One of the characters. That was like a tree-looking thing. I think Discord posted it, and I was like, "Hey,
well, no,
like
it's
Groot."
because I think that's Josh's work. He did that on
that was concept for Groot. Yeah, I think.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what Josh did. Yeah. And he did all the Iron Man and stuff too. He's crazy talented.
That makes sense. I was like, why would they try and bring in Groot to Star Citizen? But I was like,
that was all his portfolio.
That makes sense now. That's pretty cool then. That's great work.
He's a talented guy. Yeah.
Well, I know. Actually, lately, what's been really cool is seeing all these not really, I guess, famous in the industry of. Even they brought that one guy in who was working on the alien language and all that kind of stuff. Like, they're bringing a lot of really cool experts in that have been in the industry for a long time. And so they're bringing their experience to the table for this game, which just kind of shows that it's going to be a game that's going to be around for a long time.
A lot of... they've done that since the beginning, actually. I forget. I can never remember his name, but...
Graham Watkins.
The original the guy that made like the Bengal, the Hornet. He worked on Star Wars, Star Trek. He did the Defiant, I think, for Deep Space Nine, the Star Trek show. And actually, the other night I was watching. I've been getting really sucked into Disco Lando lately. He and Toast have been streaming Star Wars miniatures, and there was a ship model in that. I think it was one of the prequel X-Wing-esque looking things that was that same artist, whose name I cannot think of, who basically created a bunch of the first wave of Star Citizen ships.
Yeah, he created the first Vandal, Scythe, the Bengal Carrier, and the Hornet.
Yeah, there's some massive talent in that company. Or
and other
contracted
stuff.
in, either way.
Yeah, contracted or worked there now. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Chris Roberts has always had crazy good connections, even way back in the day with Wing Commander, back in the when he started doing the live action cutscenes. I think it was Wing Commander 3 is when that started. That was with Mark Hamill, Malcolm McDowell. It was an incredible cast, which is why Mark Hamill's in
this one.
Squadron 42. Yeah.
Exactly. Which is pretty cool, and it's it's a group of people that he's familiar with working with too, so it they can kind of jump right back in, not have to kind of start like a new partnership, and it's
amazing.
Definitely good. So the Hurricane is going on sale tomorrow.
Oh, the Anvil Tornado.
When Disco Lando tweeted that out, I just want to reply and be like, "Don't tell me there's another freaking ship for sale." I can't do that right now. But yeah, any thoughts on the Hurricane or?
I like the look. I like the concept art for it, but it's not a ship for me. It's going to be a ship for someone, and a lot of people are going to have an interest in it. I like visually the look of the ship. Don't like the style of the ship in terms of the play style. I don't think it's for me, so no go. But I might pick one up in the verse with bit of cash if they're nice and cheap.
That's kind of where I am with ships right now. Is I used to have a bunch. I've melted a bunch and upgraded a bunch, and I've kind of got it down to a core group now of what exists now that I want to start with, and most of the rest of it, I want to earn in game or steal in game or whatever.
Yeah, same group. I used to have like 20 odd ships.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do anything. You know what I mean? And I was just like, well, it's a little bit boring. I'm not gonna go so I just kind of routed it down as like 2 or 3 things. Let me pick what I want to do, because that get me by. And if anything else, I can go, grip, man. Like, come out in your ship tonight. You're like, yeah, sweet. You know what I mean? Like, so I think having ships that cover like 2 or 3 play styles will be good, because you're gonna want like your main one, a side focus, and like one you can do in between both of those anyway, as like a waiting kind of thing.
I kind of have like I have a dogfighter, kind of an in between one man ship, Joe anybody do anything kind of ship, and then a larger multi crew, and that's it. And that's kind of where I'm leaving it, and a couple of dragonflies, but gotta
always have the dragonflies.
Yeah, but yeah, fighters and stuff, I'm kind of meh. It looks pretty. Yeah, like Bristol said, it's just not for me. And I do think part of why they're doing that, because a lot of people are really sick of dogfighters.
Yeah, combat ships. Yeah.
But I think part of it too is that there's a lot of new backers too that haven't gotten sick of that yet. It's still new and exciting to them, so it's a good thing. It keeps them interested, keeps them engaged, and creates more variety in the verse. So it's good, but not for me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bristol Boy, like,
but you're gonna get one.
No, I'm not. I can't. I've already, like Scuba Steve just said, oh my god, I purchased ships off my phone. Never again. Never do that. You can't, it's just, you can't organize your thoughts as well, like on a PC, you know, like when you're like buying the whole concept shit or the sales and you're like, okay, I'm gonna grab this one and grab that one. Anyways, I think the Hurricane looks really pretty. But like it's not really, and I have like kind of my lineup of ships that I want right now, and so I got my Endeavor, which is probably my biggest multi-ship that I'm going to be working with the most.
I'm jealous.
You're always welcome aboard. I have also, the Black Cutlass, which is kind of a little bit smaller, but still a little bit of group in there as well, and then the Dur, which will be nice for kind of cargo hauling. I know the Cutlass has a little bit of cargo, but it's not like a full-on like cargo hauler. So having those 3 and then my Warden on top of that, the 4 of them, like I feel like between those 4 I'm going to be so busy already maintaining and working with those that to buy another ship right now just is like, no, just calm down.
What do you guys think about the price point on it? Like, the pricing kind of surprised me, and obviously we don't know all the details about it until tomorrow, but that seems a little steep for just a dogfighter.
Saber price.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Freelancer miss price.
Yeah.
It's in the price range.
It's in that ballpark. It's $10 here or there. Do you know what I mean? Within that ballpark.
It's been so long since I bought ships. I'm still kind of on like the price model.
It's still Super Hornet, Saber, Freelancer miss, Buccaneer. It's in that fucking price bracket, you know what I mean, of 4 different other ships, so
That's true.
Yep.
It's priced right.
Yeah,
People can't say shit.
They said, or Disco Lando said it's going to be on sale tomorrow for, what was it,
175.
Yeah, 175. Which is, I mean, it's less expensive than the Super Hornet, so...
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it is a 2-seater, isn't it? Yeah. I think.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think it'll be a nice new look for a fighter, I guess, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes tomorrow with the sale.
I don't think I'll be buying anything.
Yeah.
Or CCU, and I'm happy with what I've got.
Same here. Unless something really comes out of left
But
field and blows me away.
There's only 2 things I don't like in what I've got, and that's my Mustang Alpha pack and my Aurora pack.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I've got a fucking Freelancer Miss game pack. I'm happy with that, and then I've got my Reclaimer and my Javelin. I'm sweet.
Ooh.
It's just those
Javelin.
the Mustang Alpha and the fucking Aurora game pack. It's like those are 2 starter ships. Like, so.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I don't want to be a starter. Do you know what I mean? I want to start in like a little scrubby ship. But I may have to.
Just mine. Actually, the Mustang has kind of been a nice fighter ship lately.
I've heard that.
And I mean, you gotta kind of change a little bit of the guns on there, but it's nice and light, so you can kind of zip around pretty fast. And you can kind of get some guns on there that have a nice punch. But it is kind of like light and fragile at the same time. It's not going to be all like hefty like a Warden.
But I only want to keep them because of the game packs, and apparently you get like a character slot on a game package. Now, if that's not true, I could melt those and use that as like it's never like $70. Do you know what I mean? Towards something like a CCU something, or just
That's
extra
true.
options for me. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the nice thing with the whole melting is like you can have it, you can fly that around for a while, and then if you know like a new concept ship like that's the Hurricane coming out tomorrow, you're always like available to melt that, and then it'll always be there to buy back if you wanted to.
Yeah, I just wish I don't know buyback tokens you get one every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you gotta pick carefully of what you're melting and not melting and buying back.
That's true.
I've got a bunch of stuff that I may have around.
They don't stack either. Just because you get one fucking buyback credit this quarter, and maybe a month into the next quarter, do you know what I mean? Use that fucking token if you have one, because it's when the next token comes, you're still gonna have one.
Just buy back with cash.
Yeah.
Jordan's buying for everyone. Thanks, Jordan.
Exactly. So start a javelin. That's my ship.
Start a javelin.
Day one, I'm gonna go out in the verse on a javelin, like an idiot. Like the complete fucking idiot I am.
Is there a ship that you guys have right now that, or don't have right now that you want, or maybe have been kind of eyeing, or are you just kind of happy with what you have? Maybe like a dream ship.
Well, in game, I'm probably I've always wanted the Redeemer. That's cool, but I'll probably buy one in game. 890 Jump's gonna be a cool ship to buy in game. Maybe the Carrack. You know, those top end. I don't see anything else as one of those ships that you'd kind of aim to buy in game. You know, but things like a Dragonfly, you don't want to go and buy them in game. It's a ship that I want. It's not really a ship, but it's something I want. But you know, I think your Carracks, your Polarises, your Endeavors, your Starliner Genesis, you know, Genesis Starliners, your Orions, like your high class kind of ships that do your specific things. Those are the things that I think I'm leaning towards trying to get in game.
Yeah, I definitely want to get the 890 Jump. Will be awesome in game, and then the Phoenix looks kind of fun too.
Yeah.
I wanted an Endeavor. All I wanted was an Endeavor with all of the pods, and all I wanted to do was go somewhere where there's non-legal space, you know, no rules, and just sit there and grow weed. That's all I wanted to do. I'd have been happy as fuck, man. Yeah. But
space weed confirmed.
I have a weird fascination with the Terrapin, which I used to own. That's one I want to get in game just to experiment with it.
Yeah, the Terrapin was interesting when that got released. It was kind of...
It's a cool design. Like, I love the shape and the art style to it.
Like an armored turtle. It looks so cool.
You know what I mean? How the kind of... You notice the front of the Batmobile? The new one?
Oh, yeah.
How it kind of... It does kind of... How it kind of armors and shells over the front of the stuff. How it kind of comes over and around the cockpits and around the engines. I really thought it kind of stood out like the Batmobile there, which is a really slick design because it allows for like the mobility of it and the movement, you know. So.
Oops.
Rue just disappeared.
I did. Sorry, I was trying to turn this on and I like turned my camera off. You know, just had to leave there for a second, guys.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, that's from memory. It reminds me of the Batmobile for some reason.
I want to experiment with that ship. That's one of those ships. I was actually talking about it. Matt Sherman chat before the podcast tonight, and I was talking to him about that. That's a ship that I want to experiment with, tweaking and exchanging different subsystems and seeing. I kind of want to push it into being more of an exploration ship if possible. I want to experiment with that. I don't know why. I just have a weird interest in doing that with the turtle. I want an exploration turtle.
Well, that's kind of how it turned out to be
Yeah.
for.
But that's like me. Most people want like, you know, a constellation or a bounty merchantman to like fly around and trade and have that as a hub. I want a javelin. I wanted that as my everyday ship that I'm flying around trading and storing stuff. People coming on and because that'd be it'd be amazing. Yeah,
I'm
look,
pretty happy
at,
with
like,
my caterpillar right now, though. That's my.
Is there a picture of the front of it?
Oh, nice. There it is.
Hey, do you see it from the back? Like how it kind of looks like it's different leveled of armor.
Yeah, it's got a very interesting look. There's something about it, I can't shake it. It's
Well, that
lingering
looks like
with me.
this one, or this right here, looks like the side shot. Whoops. Sorry about that. Because this is the front cockpit here. Wing and wing here. So I think this is the side, kind of its belly here.
It reminds me of something, though, just like you were saying, Bristol. It's like it seeped into my subconscious.
It is a cool ship. When this got released, it was definitely like, I was like, whoa, that is sweet. But I just feel like for as much room as there inside of it, like, why wouldn't you be able to put cargo in there? Why wouldn't, like, they said that
seat. Yeah.
Yeah, the cargo room just seems like okay.
Yeah.
Well then, like, do I have the option to like put the seat up? Because I think that seat there is for basically the turret up top.
It's for a scanner, isn't it? Is it a turret or is it? I thought it was like a scanner seat because it's sort of a not really an information runner, but it's like a heavy hitter. Get in, scan everything, and get out.
Okay.
Ship. I thought I could be totally wrong.
So then, if it is a scanner ship, like, why can't they just put it in the middle here? I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, there just seems so much. There's so much room here that you could, I don't know, put some cargo, especially when it's going to be for exploration. You're obviously going to come across something to pick up.
It might need like a fuckload of technology and shit to make it work, you know?
Yeah.
That's
probably need like 10 batteries and 5 computers and fucking 3 satellites, you know, something stupid. And if you ain't got all that stuff in like a certain space of room, you're not gonna be able to get a good range. You know what I mean? So if you, like you're saying, if you wanted to take stuff out and search for a jump hole, you may be able to search for jump holes because you've changed your stuff, but instead of searching like 30,000 kilometers, you may only be able to get 20.
Exactly. Well, this is,
you know what I mean? There's going to be certain parameters.
Yeah, he's saying it is an exploration ship. It is a scanner ship, but I could be totally wrong. I remember it being more.
They do label it as an exploration ship.
It is okay. Yeah, I'm totally off.
No, you're totally fine.
But it's more for like.
Well, yeah, you're still exploring enemy hostile lines. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why it's super armored. It was for hostile climates and hostile.
I guess it
stormy stuff.
It does say Terrapin class scanning / exploration ship. But when you're looking at like the list of ships, it says, you know how it has like the little tag here, and it says - exploration on it for the Terrapin.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is an exploration, but I've totally confused myself then.
But it's a scanning ship for sure.
Yeah, scanning. Yeah.
Which is like when you're doing exploration, you're scanning. So which is good.
So
Caterpillar, I basically want to turn into a double wide and park on a planet somewhere.
For sure. Just make that home.
Any ship you own that is not yet in game or in hangar or flyable, that you own that's still in like concept or waiting to be built, what have you got?
Oh, nothing.
No, everything you own is in game.
Well, Dragonfly, but it's done. It's just waiting on 3.0. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think through mine. Well,
I have Terrapin.
The Endeavor. Is in concept. What else do I have that might be in concept?
When do we get that again? They say 3 point something, right?
I think it's 3.3. 3.3 is farming, so that's when that's going to come out.
But that all may have changed too. So
the Constellation Aquila is like in hangar, but like all the graphics seem kind of old in it. Like when you walk through it, even in hangar, it just seems really choppy. It obviously needs a little bit of rework, or
the new one,
the texturing.
They've done that for the 3.0. That's what's coming out. Is the Connie Aquila. So Yeah, you can see that next patch. That'd be cool.
That would be really fun. Super
Yeah.
cool. I
Fuck.
can't
See,
remember.
I'm waiting for the reclaimer. That's like my next
Oh
ship.
yeah, I think a
Because
lot of people are
the
waiting for the
javelin ain't gonna be
reclaimer.
fucking ready for a while, man. You know what I mean? So actually, freelancer miss. I've got the freelancer miss. I'm waiting on and the reclaimer. So
I have the freelancer Dur.
Sure. Yeah.
The Dur.
Durr.
Dur.
It looks like a dir. Yeah.
It does. And yeah, it does look like a Dur.
What's
It
the?
does.
I
Look at
can't
that
remember
fucking
the
chin
name
on
of
it. Look
Yeah.
at that chin.
That
He does
double
have a chin.
that double chin.
Make fun of his chin, man.
What's the Prowler? That's
Oh
Oh,
yeah, the Prowler.
the Tavaran
Oh,
Prowler.
that was right up
I don't
here.
own that, but that is another one that I wouldn't mind having.
That's a cool ship, eh? I love how it lands
Mhm.
and the wings fucking come down to I feel
Create
like,
like
that
a
side
shield.
protection.
Yeah.
And then obviously you get your shield anyway that comes down. It forms a shield from the ground up around the
Yep.
ship. So you can allow, but that thing is just to stop ballistics and give them a visual blockade of cover.
And it's
You know what I mean?
the only ship we've seen so far besides like the Dragonfly, I think, that has those like Gravlev plates underneath of it. So it's designed to actually skim over the surface of a planet.
And it's the first ship to have that mirrored cockpit.
Oh,
So
that's
that
right.
you can see out, they can't see in. It's super fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
I'm hoping you can push a button and black,
Bring it up.
and then you switch it and you can see. Yeah, that'd be cool.
that would be.
But
super
design
cool.
wise, that's a really fucking slick ship.
I'm really curious to see what they do with the Redeemer too when they actually start working on that again, because that whole thing's gonna have to get redone from the ground up to make the metrics match, to get all the new tech in. So that's gonna change quite a bit. I'm sure they're gonna try and keep the overall style of it, since it was the next great Starship winner. But I've always thought that was a really unique looking ship and kind of fascinating.
The way they designed that Redeemer,
Mhm.
so fucking clever. The way they used every square inch or square foot within that ship. They got 3 stories in a ship that is not much bigger than a freelancer.
Yeah.
In terms of foot plan,
Mhm. I wonder how big it'll get.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a beer explosion over here. It's alright.
Hmm.
We're all good.
Yeah, I agree, Jordan. I'm looking forward to seeing a variety in alien ships.
Mm-hmm.
All the human ships or even with the human ships, I hope we get some more shape variation, because pretty much right now they're all either a diamond or a triangle or a big phallic schlong. It's one or the other right now. It would be kind of neat to see some. I hate to reference this, but I always do. But like Millennium Falcon, circular, saucer, something.
Saucer ones would be sweet. I would definitely get a ship that was.
Oh man, that'd be cool. I'd love your typical fucking UFO. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
That's what I want. You give me a round fucking circle with a glass 360-degree thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Your old school alien thing. You know what I mean? A small fucking pit with a small thing, like a Merlin, but a fucking actual spaceship UFO thing. I'd be wicked.
Yeah, totally. That would actually be really cool.
Or even some bigger ships that aren't asymmetrical at all, like something like the ships from.
And do you know what you want to call it?
Just
if you release it,
funky, because they don't have to go in atmosphere. Just some variety, because everything is pretty much either long cylinder or a triangle.
Great. I've got the perfect name if they do release the UFO ship.
What's that?
Just call it the Roswell.
The Roswell. I like
it. Nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
They should definitely do that, as a tribute to original UFO
They should.
homage. It's so
We'll find
great.
wreckage from some mysterious alien race somewhere that wasn't announced. That's all saucers.
Yeah, Jerome, the turban is round-ish.
It is. That actually, good point. That is one that is slightly different in its shape design than anything else.
I think that's maybe why you might be so
That's why it's sticking in my head.
Yeah, because you're oh, hey, it looks kind of different.
This is great. This is like Star Citizen therapy. You're bringing out all the hidden issues.
You're oh my god. I definitely have a love and a heart for the Cartual. I actually did pick up that ship too in the sale. It sounds so cool, and you get the how it like rolls over you to like open it. I mean, that whole thing is so cool. More of those for sure. More types
I
of
can't
those.
wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see those alien ships, like Jean ships or like the Cartu-All multi-crew, bigger versions of that with that same kind of crazy design concept,
super
but as a
sleek,
bigger
kind of
ship.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
futuristic.
think. Reliant. It's the same
Yeah.
thing, but it's only got 2 wings. A
Yeah.
Reliant is the Car-12 is a 4-winged, 1-man Reliant.
Mm-hmm.
The Reliant is a 2-winged, 2-man Car-12.
I do like that.
Because you know the way they spin and shit. Like it's the same fucking thing.
Well, it
They're
uses
both
the
science
same
technology.
shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I like to see one that looks more alien.
Oh, go back up to that fucking reclaimer. Go back up to that reclaimer. Fuck. I cannot wait to see that in the game. Fuck me.
That's gonna be.
It's
pretty
massive.
sexy.
I just can't wait to watch someone or
Little arms.
I don't care if I'm doing it, if it's happening to me, if I'm watching someone do it to me, or if I'm watching someone do it to someone else. I just want to see that ship grab something, turn its big fucking floodlights on, and then just shred it to pieces with someone in it. That'd be amazing. And then just see like the body floating out in space. It's like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
That Prospector is pretty awesome too. That clip from last week's ATV was sexy.
They look like they've come quite ahead on that, right?
It's almost flight ready. Its model phase is done. It's in flight testing now.
Which is super exciting, because mining is going to be the first thing out in 3.0.
Yeah, which used to be 3.1, but I think it's pushed up.
I think
Really?
it's pushed up.
Mining 3.0 originally was just going to be smuggling, cargo, bounty hunting, and 3.1 was mining and something else. Maybe salvage? I don't think salvage was in 3.1.
I think 3.2 was salvage and reclaiming. Because that's when that's when I'm waiting for the reclaimer.
But
So I'm probably going to get the reclaimer before anything else.
3.0 taking longer than expected. Because obviously that schedule report for the 3.0 releases was based out of last year.
Yeah.
And obviously that didn't happen, so...
And exactly.
It seems like mining, because they've been showing so much mining stuff recently.
Yeah. You got to think, if they've been working on like a mining mechanic for so long, or a cargo mechanic for so long, but they've been working on 3.0 for longer.
Yeah.
If that like delay overties and they're like, oh well, we originally wanted to put it out in December, and oh look, the cargo mechanic was ready in December, but mining mechanic wasn't ready till March. But oh look, the delay has put it back till March. So now in the original release of that, we can put them both in.
Exactly.
Like it makes sense, yeah.
I think we're gonna get a lot more stuff in the initial 3.0 than
Because of the delay, yeah, and all the work's continued anyway. So
exactly.
It's not like they've stopped fucking
Different
working
dev
because
teams.
3.0 couldn't get through.
Right.
Yeah.
They're still working on things. Also, yeah, the Orion is another really cool thing. Or another
Fucking
really
cool ship.
That would be really
There's
cool.
so many cool ships, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
So many. Look at the whole series. Do you know what I mean? The whole A through E. It's such an underrated ship. I don't own one, but I love the style of it, how it folds up and unfolds, and all your cargo's on the exterior, and potentially you could put all your safe cargo, precious cargo in the center, you know, in the early middle binds, buying loads of fuel and hydrogen on the exterior. You could drop those pods off as you're flying, and fucking people fly into them as they're following you and get blown up.
Yeah,
There's a lot of playstyle you can use that whole it's gonna be fun.
And there's a bunch of ships we haven't even seen yet that are done for Squadron 42. That once that comes out, will get dumped into the PU.
That's true.
And,
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing. The variety in this game, like I said before, is astounding. And it's only going to get better and better with time.
We have a visitor.
Kitty.
We have a visitor. Yeah, lots of cool ships. I'm definitely waiting for my Endeavor.
Yeah.
What modules have you got for that then?
Right now I just have the pods. Or the domes.
The grow pods?
Yes, the domes.
Yeah, sick.
So I got 4 of the, or 4 domes, which is basically 2 of the...
You know you can still attach the hanger module underneath, right? Even though you've got the biomes on top.
Exactly. So I want to continue getting the rest of the attachments and that sort of thing. So, but at the moment, that was all I could get for now.
If you need any help growing weed, let me know.
Of course. I'll have to fill up 4.
I'm sure Sniffle Wizard will come and help you too.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. The marijuana pod.
Me and Sniffle are the resident, like...
I'll just, like, dedicate...
And Grit knows
I'll
Grit
go mine some ice from asteroids for your hydroponics.
There you go. We can all work together here. And then for sure I'm going to be growing, like, some beer.
BBC. Building better chronic.
Oh
The
my...
dankest buds in the verse. Derailing.
Totally derailed. Are you gonna name your ship Mary Jane? Probably not. Probably won't name the ship. I hope that maybe that could actually be something that you could do in Star Citizen, is actually name your ships as part of the customization. I'm sure
I think they said you can.
Back in the day,
You can, yeah.
we used to talk about that quite a bit.
Because they've already named the Idris in Squadron 42.
Mm-hmm.
The one that are on is.
Pretty sure it's going to be part of the paint system, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to scan a ship and it's going to say, "Oh look, that's Crafty Brews ship.
Yeah.
Oh, it's piloted by Roosmash. Oh, it's owned by Nerdy News.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta do it. I mean,
Grit Spitter's on board. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be able to tell all that.
But like Star Wars, I mean, you have such iconic ties to ships, like the Millennium Falcon or things like that, or the Serenity, Firefly, that kind of thing. It's got to do something like that eventually, because
Xylo is in the house.
You see a familiar ship and you scan it and you say, "Oh, yeah, it's the Mary Jane," then you get reputation and stuff. It would be great to do it that way.
I feel like if
Hey Xylo.
I feel like if you did name your ship Mary Jane, people would be like, "Oh, I know what's on that ship," and then it would just be a target on your back.
Exactly. It'd be creepy and clever.
Yeah, like, "Oh, that's not very discreet now, is it?" Like, no, not really. Oh man.
I don't know. I don't know if I would call my ship stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I probably will.
Yep.
Probably have to come up with something clever, or if not, it's just going to be something absolutely ridiculous.
Of course.
People are going to look at it and go, "I can't believe you've named it that."
Like Dick Butt or something. Who knows?
The dread pirate ship Long Dong Silver.
Yeah, just like what?
Big silver freelancer.
Like the most expensive ship in the game. You just name it like this ridiculous name. People are like, really? Yeah. That'd be great. Oh, I feel like right now the community's not very trollish, but I kind of like a little bit of trolling when it be not like GTA trolling, but like a little bit of trolling is always kind of fun.
some light ribbing.
Yes, and I feel like I might end up with like 2 accounts just so I can just go fuck with people on one account and be like the really nice person on the other account, Have like 2 secret identities or something.
It's the reputation system.
Yes, that would be great.
Oh, good lord, JJ.
Exactly. All that kind of stuff would be fun. Yeah, I guess, how are you guys liking the changes in 2.6.1? I guess from the 2.5, I guess we won't really count 2.6 as much of it. I mean, I know there was some updates, but I guess the transition from 2.5 to 2.6.1, there's been a lot of changes. What are your guys' probably most excited about or happy with the updates as far as 2.6.1?
I like the fact that they've shown how modular the map system can be in terms of the last patch, even in Korea, the room changes where the weapons are.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the Star Marine, and downstairs near B, I believe it is, there's like a new little room just off the stairs, and that wasn't there before. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to see that they can use the map to extend it and change it for future gameplay. So they could, for instance, change the whole map just to mimic a new game mode or push a different game style that they want. So it's interesting. There's one thing I don't like though, which is the grenade indicator, but I play in third person to avoid that, so it's all good.
That's I agree with the grenade indicator thing. That's a tough one. And that's also another weird spot for them, because it's one of those situations of, do we fix this now, or we barely have a lot of the game mechanics in too that could completely negate that down the road. There may be a reason we have such a kind of overboard grenade indicator, because down the road there's going to be different sensor packages, all that kind of different stuff. But it makes balancing it hard right now. But the biggest thing I've noticed, especially with 261, besides regional servers and stuff, is more than anything, it just seemed like just a quality of life upgrade. There was tons and tons of very tiny little bugs, tiny little inconsistencies that were polished up, that the overall feel of the game now is much smoother. The audio being synced up a little better.
Mm-hmm. I agree
The animations are a little more fluid. It just feels more polished, which is really unexpected for a game this early in alpha. But really nice. And I did notice in the PU, while obviously the frame rates are still an issue because we're still waiting on object container streaming and Star Network to be fully implemented, I didn't realize that we were going to get the adaptive music system. Seems to be in first iteration in the PU now, which was awesome. I love it. It's a little buggy sometimes, but it is, the music is different if you're in your ship, in EVA, or on foot, and it does adapt to whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool. It's very immersive. It's much more like being in a movie than that classic
video game style.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, everything, no enemies, everything's happy, and then you hear that music change, and even if you don't see anything, oh, I'm about to enter combat.
Exactly.
To have it actually evolve with what you are doing instead of it changing to force you to evolve to the game is really, really cool. That's actually one of my favorite things that has changed, I think, even though it's such a subtle little thing, and the PU is still pretty choppy. It's worth checking it out.
It's definitely subtle, but it's just one of those things that you notice and definitely separates itself from another game. It's kind of funny, like, I feel like when I've been a part of this whole early release or early access, early access stuff, I'm actually noticing more and probably learning more about game development than you would with, oh, this game just came out, let's just start playing it. Because now you feel like you're like a little bit more involved in the project, and it's stuff like that where you can notice the difference, the quality in the game compared to other games that you maybe are used to playing.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think
even with that being said, though, even though we know it's early and there's loads of bugs, I don't know what it is, but you play Star Citizen, you go and play a different game, and you just get eye strain. Do you know what I mean? Because the level of like the sweetness and the smoothness of the graphics we're used to, and the lighting, and how nice everything can look in Star Citizen. You go to another game, you're playing it, you're like looking at the screen, what the fuck is this? Like, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
I'm just used to how good Star Citizen can look.
It's still an early alpha. That's what, even like you're saying, that blows my mind. It's
exactly,
like I said, besides the netcode issues we have right now, it's incredibly optimized for an alpha that looks better than pretty much any other game out there that will run half as well on twice the rig. You can run Star Citizen on max settings pretty much on a pretty mid-level PC. You really can. It's pretty amazing for this stage in development and to look that good.
Yeah, the graphics definitely got cleaned up. I mean, obviously they moved over to Lumberyard, which was a huge help in that. And then I feel like they keep changing or working on the lighting, because when they first had 2.6, I was like, oh my gosh, finally the lighting seemed really good, because 2.5, sometimes you just hit those spots. It was so bright that it was like the detail of the ship was lost, because it was just, I mean, obviously I get it's realistic in the fact that, if there's a sun there, it's obviously going to be really, really bright. But at the same time, it's like, I love the detail that they put into the ships, and when it was so bright, you couldn't see it. And then 2.6 released, the graphics were perfect. I was like, oh my god, they got the lighting down. And then in this last update, I think they updated a little bit of the lighting, because it's back to like sometimes it's really dark or it's super bright, and you're just
Yep.
like, no, I want to see my pretty ship. It's so pretty.
They talked about recently they are going to do a new lighting well, they talked about an ATV today, but that was mostly for different light states, the same light changing. But they also mentioned not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, there's a whole new particle system they're getting ready to put in,
That's true
which will
too.
probably change things too a little bit. But that's what I mean. It's just, yeah, it's gonna early access. It's gonna go up and down, back and forth. But at its best of times and worst of times, it still looks so much better than anything else out there, and it's only gonna get better and better and better the further along we get.
For
That's
sure.
what I can't even imagine it looking better. Even Chris Roberts was talking about it when they did the featurette last week on the iteration of the Hornet since the original pitch, and how he even talked about how the Hornet in his first initial Kickstarter video, he thought that was the pinnacle. It could never look any better, and
I know.
it looks like crap compared to
I
what we have
know.
now. And even it blows his mind. It's pretty wild, the level of detail in this game. Even the suits, when you zoom in on those suits, you can see the stitching. You can see blood veins in their eyes and stuff. It's nuts.
It is pretty nuts. Yeah. Definitely a
only
lot
gonna
of
get better.
detail.
Yeah.
I know, it's only the start.
Yeah.
It's only the start. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because when I first kind of started getting Star Citizen, I did go back to, like, on YouTube they have, like, the original Kickstarter video that they had playing, and it was just like, I mean, it was eye-opening to see, like, wow, this is where it came from. This was the start of his dream and his plan for all this, and to just see where it's going now and where it is, like, today, and all their plans, where it's just like, you're just like, wow, this is definitely a group that I think that's pretty much why they're getting a lot of money backing this game, because it's a good team. They've got a lot of amazing people, like we were saying earlier, great talent that they're pulling in to create this game.
And they pull it off. It's even wild if you go back and look at the original hangar module that we had, and look at the hangars we have now, because they've done, well, they added PBR rendering and then did a huge lighting pass, and it's changed a lot. That, well, also, obviously we also used to have that room system, the expanding hangars way back in the day, where you had like these infinite stretches of ships and stuff.
They did have that, which was kind of cool. I wish I was playing when they had that. I wasn't.
Kind of miss that.
I do kind of miss that.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Line up all the ships.
Fun.
I heard that they were bringing it back though eventually, right?
Yeah.
It's because you should just better drive your buggy all the way around. You know what I mean? That was the fun part.
Yeah, driving the buggy around. That was fun.
Yeah, we had a gun range. We had the hoops.
The buggy track with the hoops. Yeah.
There was a lot of fun stuff back in the day.
Not saying that I would take it back, but
no.
No.
I'll keep the new stuff over.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, obviously that stuff was good ideas that maybe they were working on and bringing back later. So we'll see.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, cool. Let's actually jump into some questions that people have brought up. We don't have. Actually, we've got about 5 questions here from everyone, so we will go through those. And
I gotta be rude again. I gotta go grab another drink.
Okay, go do that really quick. Oh, go grab another drink.
You
That's
can
good.
take the field the first one. I'll be fast.
That's right. What drink are you on there, Bristle?
I've finished my orange juice, and I'm halfway through my vodka and Coke.
How is it?
Smashing it. It's
Smashing.
savage. It's horrible. But I'm drinking it because it's fun.
It's fun. Oh man, your Russian vodka that you found out was German vodka, basically.
Exactly. Who drinks German vodka at 5 o'clock in the morning?
That's right. I do have to thank you so much for actually like waking up in the middle of the night.
I've been up all night. It's so good.
Did the same
I go sleep
thing.
after.
Yeah, exactly. It's like so great that there's you guys that will jump on in the middle of the night.
Well, I'm normally up this late anyway, but like the difference is, I'm normally just up watching people stream.
Oh yeah.
But the hard thing is like I'm here, my mum's literally like in the next room asleep.
Oh. Right.
And the walls are like fuck. Do you know what I mean the walls are paper thin? So I've got to try and be as quiet as I can, and I'm not as loud as when I'm streaming. You know, like I'm a little bit more like mental when I'm streaming.
Yes.
So on these late night shows, I need to try and like tone it down a little bit. So.
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
But I enjoy coming on, you know, because I'm normally awake anyway.
That's great. That's good. Yeah, I know. I'm such a night owl. I mean, obviously during the week I work the next day, so I can't stay up as late as I typically do. But on the weekends, oh my god, I'm up till like 3 in the morning.
I'm back.
You're back.
Sorry. What did I miss?
We were just talking about how late it is for Bristol Boy over there.
I know, so
Like
sorry, man.
in the middle of the night, and he's drinking vodka like super hardcore. It's great.
Bristol never sleeps. Sleep when
Never
you're dead.
sleeps. Sleep is overrated. Who needs that shit?
I'm not sleeping until 3.0 comes out.
Yeah.
You should start a GoFundMe. I'm just saying. Kidding.
Yeah.
Send me
What's
all
it
the
called?
stimulants.
Not a petition. Is it petition? When you like you stand to something and you're like, oh, I'm not eating until you do this for me.
Like a hunger
What's it
strike?
called? Yeah, going like a fucking hunger strike until we get 3.0.
Until 3.0 comes out.
Yeah.
Like the entire
should totally do
community. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Then it'll release, I'll download it and fall asleep waiting for it to patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We die in our sleep. Zylo's worst nightmare. No, just kidding. All right. So our first question here is actually our first 3 questions are from Scuba Steve.
BBC.
The BBC. Grit, what is it like having it all figured out?
Jesus Christ. I'll let you know when I do, and yeah, then I won't be broke and between jobs.
Oh man. Is that like an inside joke
Scuba.
or?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The next one again from Scuba Steve. This one is for Bristol Boy. What's it like running a t-shirt empire?
All the t-shirts.
Yes.
All the t-shirts.
That's cool, man. We got a couple of designs.
Yeah.
The Bristol Boy 88 one is pretty cool. I don't know how long they're actually still on sale for. But when you put them up on the store, they go on sale for like the first 2.5 days at like 30% off. So we've got a red one t-shirt
Oh, here I can
inspired
pull them up
for
really
the
quick.
community. To the Jared Huckabee Discolando red one t-shirt. It's pretty fucking cool. And then there's a just a Bristol Boy 88 one, which is like my channel logo now. It's just pretty cool. So yeah, I've gone into the merchandise business. But
Merchandising.
what we're doing with the red one t-shirts, and any foregoing kind of community t-shirts, I do like that. Any ones for my channel, I'm obviously going to keep the proceeds, but ones that are like aimed at specifically selling them for the community, we're going to be donating the proceeds. So the proceeds for this one, we're going to go to like a mental health charity or mental awareness or something like that.
That's awesome.
Because I think that affects a lot of people within the gaming community, especially myself. So it's cool to kind of show some awareness for it and try and raise some money at the same time. So, and it's cool that Lando's been a fucking great sport, and he's you know, going with it. So
That's awesome.
but yeah, those look pretty cool on a mug. I love how it kind of it's gradient. You know, the logo on the mug, it looks pretty slick.
It looks really good.
Commander Z-Man's done the design for that, and he smashed it. We worked good as a team.
There was a lot of variety of different shirt types too. That's amazing.
Are all these the ones that you were talking about? You got like case and print hoodie?
Yeah, you get phone case, baby onesies, hoodies, fucking you get posters.
That's
It's
Wow.
loads of shit.
That is a lot of, yeah, that's awesome.
Same with the Lando ones. You can buy Lando mugs.
Xylo. That was pretty funny.
So you're selling a shirt with Lando's face on for mental health charity.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's kind of a premise behind it in there, like a red one, and just kind of thought, well, red is kind of a same thing for danger, and one meaning like one is in one, but we were all one, so we're coming together as like I kind of had a deep thought about it, and I thought it made a lot of sense to use that as something that the community was like drawn into anyway, to make it mean something else and do something good with it. So yeah,
get a red one stress ball made and send it to Chris Roberts. Red one, red one, red one.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I mean, Zylo, we could make a T-shirt with your face on it. I'm sure Bristol Boy would love to put that together. Just go ahead, contact him after the stream. He can get that all set up for you right away.
We got plans, man. We got plans. We can make it happen.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. That's fantastic. So, yeah, these are definitely some cool stuff that Bristol Boy's been up to.
Commander Z-Man's got some really cool designs out too, to be fair.
He does, yeah.
He's got some really cool t-shirts. So, like this one, the Commander Z-Man Zulu group.
I have one of those.
Those are really cool.
They're awesome.
He's got a milk carton asking if you've seen Lando's keys. That's pretty fucking funny. There's another one that says like 3 less than 9 greater than 6 or something. So it's like, I'd rather have you on my wing, you know, my 3 or my 9 better than being on my 6. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I like
it.
Red shirts and Star Trek always die.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
I just read that too. I was like, and Keeper. So great.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
All I can keep thinking is Spaceballs and the whole yogurt merchandising thing. In my head, I'm going like, Bristol Boy the T-shirt, Bristol Boy the lunchbox, Bristol Boy the flamethrower.
Oh my god.
Merchandising. That's awesome.
It's very cool. You just released this week, right? Bristol?
Yeah, they went up a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Alright, so the next question from Scuba Steve is, why isn't the cast drinking Garitas?
Oh, Gritterita.
Gritteritas?
Thanks for that, Z-Man.
What is the joke behind that?
That's turned into apparently my version of salty.
Of salty?
The salty
ring. It's like
Oh my god.
Like a margarita, but a gritterita.
Thanks to Z-Man. Cheers, Z-Man, for that. Thanks.
That's hilarious. Oh. Okay.
There's a better Twitch emote for that as well.
Just for that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. He actually, Z-Man and Scuba Steve, they seem to create a lot of inside jokes.
Yeah.
Like the single warhogs. That's definitely a thing now.
Pretty sure that's in the BBC bylaws.
It is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Building better communities, one emote at a time.
Yep. And then the pink hornets. Thanks to Sophie Girl.
Sophie Girl.
That was awesome.
That was pretty brutal. I was there when that happened.
That was hilarious.
We have the shame thing as well.
Oh god.
There's so many.
Yeah.
The shame.
So many jokes within that group.
Oh, seriously, it's so fantastic. Okay, the next question is from Asian Glump. What do you see as being the most important feature you are looking forward to in 3.0?
AI interaction.
Ah, that's actually
because so far we can see them, we can't touch them, or you know what I mean. We can't
talk to them.
Yeah,
or do
you can kind of fucking push them around. You know, that's about as much as you can do.
We can't
come on, you can.
Yeah.
I took the guy from Grimheck's shop to Korea in the security station. It was pretty funny.
That's
it was
fantastic.
a ball ache. It was a ball ache to get him there, but I did it. But yeah, like, I just want to be able to chat to him or have an option to say, what are you selling? Or how's your day going? Or something like, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, that's obviously coming. And what was interesting about the whole AI interaction was when Chris Roberts basically said, one of the reasons why he didn't want to show Squadron 42 was because one of the AIs were walking down the hall, and how they were walking just wasn't real enough for him, and therefore that was one of the reasons why he was like, no, it's not finished yet. I don't want to show that. I mean, that's just really crazy detail.
Well, that's why they were. See, cattail.
I see cattail. Cattail.
That's what they were talking about when they showed. It was a few weeks ago now, but the new animations they're working on for the multiple approaches to objects and stuff is. I've described that too. It's apparently they have subsumption working very well in the back end, but it basically I compare it to, it's Bethesda NPCs still. Visually, they all have that very janky, rigid approaching things and snapping into place and that kind of thing, and so there's this incredibly advanced AI subsumption system behind that, but visually it just looks like crap. So can't blame them for that. But that is a time-consuming thing. I think that's one of the reasons.
Really time-consuming.
Squadrons taking a while, stuff like that, because that's one of those deals where they kind of have to. It's not coding the AI, but it's going through and having to manually link in all these animation subsets and stuff. It's just time-consuming.
Very, yeah.
Yeah.
But it will eventually be there, and the detail will be there, and the immersion.
Yeah. And the big thing I'm waiting for in 3.0 is netcode.
Yep.
Basically, object container streaming, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe this is just me, because I've been the biggest proponent that I think 3.0 could be sooner rather than later. But I'm starting to wonder because it is so massive with all the gameplay mechanics coming in, procedural planets, all that stuff. That maybe we will get a 2.7 or a 2.8 where it's still Crusader as we know it, but maybe the moons get replaced with the procedural moons and the new netcode gets tested out. And so maybe they bump up Crusader to 50 or 60 or more players just to make sure it all works right before they're like, oh, by the way, here's a whole solar system that might completely detonate everything. So
yeah, it might completely crash.
Which I'd be okay with, but I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah, I wonder too. How much are they going to kind of let us see before they actually give us it all?
Yeah. Or maybe the way that it's built, it all has to come at once. There's no way of knowing until we get that schedule report. So, yeah, I would say my thing I'm looking forward to the most with 3.0 is the netcode, but that could come sooner. So,
I guess for me, I'm definitely looking forward to cargo hauling. Loading things in the back of my freelancer will just be really, really cool.
Actually, I'm gonna doctor my statement. The thing I'm looking forward to is what they described with the subsumption-based mission systems.
Oh, yeah.
Because even if it's only, what do we have now in Crusader? I can never remember.
Roughly
15-ish missions.
It could be. There's 15 in the Comrades and security mission and Covalex. So yeah, I think there's around 20 missions, and then I think there's around eight or 9 ICT missions.
Yeah,
I think. The other thing about the missions that kind of irritate me is that they build on each other. So if you die, you have to start back at 1 again, and it's it seems like if I logged off and I had to start back at 1, that makes more sense to me. But I die and I have to restart again at 1. I have done mission 1, 2, and 3 so many times that it's just
that's and that's why I'm excited for that subsumption based mission system, because they may only script 17 missions for 3.0, but the fact that it can change its location, change at its heart, it may be go here, rescue that guy, but every time you take it, it could be in a different place. It could be an ambush when you get there, or he's wounded when you get there, or he's not wounded when you get there. That'll essentially make just random number, a 17 quote unquote scripted missions turn into 80 essentially. So at least it's not samey every time you do it.
It'd be interesting to see. It's you're saying, you do your first 3 missions and you die. If you did your first 5 and you die, do 2, you go back.
At least they'd be different.
No, but not even saying redo them, but you kind of say if you do 3 and you die, you go back to the thing, and it kind of remembers where you was, but it doesn't give you the fourth quest as you would expect a fourth quest. It would give you a alternate quest because you kind of failed your last quest.
Exactly.
So it's a kind of a redemption quest or something. Do you know what I mean? You have to redo something to gain their trust, or you have to go, oh, he is capable of delivering a cargo. He isn't going to get it fucking lost, or oh, he isn't going to let the bounty get away. He is actually going to You need something to redeem yourself to fucking be able to get that mission status back. So
I like that.
You know what I mean?
First implementation of 3.0, even if it doesn't have a ton of missions, it'll still have a bunch more replayability than Crusader has had.
I'd like to see it if you do really well. You do like 6 missions in a row, and you do more, and you get like a succession thing, you get like a bonus for doing really well. Or if you keep you go back and you try to do a mission, you fail. You try to do a mission, you fail. You do it like 5 or 6 times. I'd like to see something kind of a lower payment, or like I'd like to see people get punished for fucking failing missions. Do you know what I mean?
Reputation system, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You find it harder to get another job, or you find it harder to get more money, or you find it harder to get an AI that's going to give you extra info on the mission. Like stuff like that'd be cool.
Or maybe you get like a side mission that you have to complete to redeem yourself to get back on track or something. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff they can do with that. That'll be nice, because that's the issue with Crusader right now. It's fun. There's cool stuff you can do, but especially if you're streaming, and I don't do a lot of Crusader on my stream, but I know, I mean, case in point, someone like W2F of Saurus, who basically has somehow managed to stream this game at least 5 days a week since there was only a hangar.
Right?
It's got to be slowly driving him into dementia, doing the same missions over and over and over every day. It'll just add a lot more replayability.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
the kind of randomness it's going to bring to each mission. Instead of going, oh, I'm on my second mission, I know what I'm fucking getting.
It's always that place.
You don't want that. You know what I mean? Oh, what the? You're going to go where? Why have I got to go here?
Right.
You're gonna go, what the? And then you're gonna be like, there's fucking nothing here. You're like, hold on, like, something ain't right. You know what I mean? And you're going to explore, and then you're going to find something. You're like, oh, I have to go over there. Well, I didn't do that last time. Last time I went this way. You know what I mean? I don't want that same thing every time. Oh, I go to ICC every time I turn left. No, I want to go up somewhere. I want the destinations to be completely fucking random. Do you know what I mean? When I'm going to some of these things, and not know it's over there to the left, the exact place of where it is. I like it to change.
Well, like we were talking about earlier with the Big Benny's henge thing, even the little detail, well, it's not really a little detail, but having a full solar system where the planets are actually orbiting and the planets themselves are spinning, which means those asteroid rings are moving. It won't be like you were saying, it's not always like, oh, exit Crusader, jump here, and if I jump here and then jump to Yella, I have to go boom, 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 I know right where Big Benny's henge is. It'll be, every time you come in, things are going to be in constant motion, so you're going to have to rediscover stuff. That's going to definitely add a lot more replayability on a very simple level.
And it will definitely, like, the exploration will mean more, because, like, right now it seems like, oh yeah, I know where that is. I've been there before, but if it was a lot more random exploration, it seems like, yeah, you're going to go send your exploration ship out first before you send your entire crew in. On top of an unknowing spot, you're going to probably group up more. Whereas right now, there's a lot of people who do missions by themselves, and it's totally fine. You can survive them fairly easily. Yeah.
And I wonder if we'll get that beacon system in with 3.0, the first iteration, because that would be interesting, again, with exploration. Would be so
nice.
Yeah, because then you could find something that moves around like Big Benny's and be like, oh, here's a beacon, but I'm only sharing it with people I know or people in my party. So hey,
and you've seen the thing.
Come over here and we'll defend it or something. Yeah.
And you've seen the thing from ATV where they put like the battery inside of the thing. Yeah. You could essentially go, oh, it's a Benny's machine. Let me take off the back fucking panel. Oh look, there's no engine in there because it's not plugged in. It's not being worked. Let me put this like tracker system thing inside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be really
interesting.
And
then people can be able to pick up on that tracker beacon. Like there'll be stuff like that, and then people won't see that tracker beacon on the Benny's machine, and you'll be able to put it on someone's ship. See where I'm going with these gameplays. Well, oh look, you're going to your pirate base. Are you on selling? Oh, I'm gonna give you a fucking Benny's machine, and oh look, I've got a tracker on there. Now I know where your base is. I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
there could be all these mechanics. You may have to scan the cargo that's coming on to make sure no one's doing the dirty on you like that. You know what I mean?
There's going to be a lot of rich new experiences in 3.0. I think more than people are expecting, just because the nature of the way they're building this game. They are building all these mechanics not to serve a specific person or specific purpose so much as to be an underlying mechanic that has the ability to do a bunch of stuff that may not even be planned. All that emergent gameplay. So it's going to be really interesting to see 3.0 come out and what little gems people discover that maybe weren't even intended. Because that's been going on since we even got 2.0, like moving the Big Benny's vending machines and stuff.
Somebody may get that 1 in a million mission. You know what I mean? You never know with the possibility of what could be fucking generated with what they do.
Yeah,
I would love that. A mission that literally happens 1 in 1,000, and someone tries to reduplicate it, doesn't fucking work, and then one day they log in, they completely forget that they're trying to do what they. You know what I mean? And then they do that mission. They'd be like, "Oh shit! I made him do this. Like, and it's gonna be one of those really fucking rare moments in the game that literally just spontaneous as shit, and is really rare. Like, that'd be cool.
I bet there's also going to be some really funny and interesting bugs when it first comes out. Too.
Fuck yeah,
like
dude!
Somebody lands on a moon, and all of a sudden the moon expands to the size of the solar system and wrecks everything or something. There's going to be some weird shit that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Q4, I was just going to say, Tessa is AI. I mean, she mentions that too when she talks to you. So I don't think we'd ever be able to meet her face to face. Unless it was something trippy like the end of like Borderlands 2. I don't know. We'll see.
She'll be a hologram.
She's a hologram. Of like some planet that needs to be discovered or something crazy. Who knows?
Or who knows? Maybe they'll do some in-lore thing where eventually you meet. Maybe it's not Tessa, but
there's AI
the
in Mass
scientist that
Effect.
Created Tessa the AI, and it's essentially.
Have you played Mass Effect 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not.
The AI in Mass Effect 2 controls your ship, and you
Right.
see the face of it in when it talks to you.
Exactly. Little holographic thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this could. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows what they have planned? With the announcement, this is our next question and our last question, which is a very interesting question. Cat fight? Oh, in the back. Behind you. Okay, with the announcement of the Swedish local councillor proposing a new law to give workers a 1-hour paid break, specifically for people to go home and have sex, who else is migrating to Sweden with me?
Is that a real thing?
I guess that's a real thing. I did not know about this, but
Are they trying to boost their population over there? What's going on?
Right. Population boost is needed. How should we accomplish this? That's interesting. Sure, I'd move to Sweden for that, maybe.
Yeah. Thank God they didn't open a CIG branch in Sweden, or the game would never come out.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I did not know about that. Awesome, guys. We went way over.
Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. It was great discussion, so it's not like I minded. But yeah, we're almost.
Was that your longest one?
I think this is my longest one at this point.
Nice.
We have been live for 2 hours and 40 minutes now.
Fuck
so what
yeah.
you're saying is we're never invited back, basically.
No, I never said that.
we can't keep time. Yeah.
No,
we can't keep within a 2-hour limit, so we're fucked off. There's no more next time.
Yep.
We've blown it now. That's it. Thanks for coming.
Damn it.
You guys had fantastic discussion tonight. That's what that means to me.
We had fun. It was good fun. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and first of all, thank you so much for staying up in the middle of the night and drinking and having a good time with us.
Good.
And
champ.
Gritspitter, I feel like, I mean, we haven't met before or anything, and
Yeah.
we've hung out a little bit, just probably through streams and everything, but yeah, thank you again for jumping on here. It was great to get you better and know more people in the Star Citizen community. And cheers, guys. I don't know how much beer you have left. I'm on my third one here, but cheers.
I have enough to finish the show now. About
Good.
that.
We're all
Cheers,
about
guys.
even. That's perfect. Yeah.
Cheers.
Chug.
Chug the whole thing.
No.
Ah.
Oh, tastes like regrets.
Regrets.
Yeah, I regret that so much.
Everyone in chat, I'm just gonna wave and say thank you all for joining the 8th episode of Crafty Brews and Nerdy News. Join me again next week. Sounds like I have Sniffle Wizard and Take On joining us.
I can't be spoke, yes.
And that's when you know you've drank too much. And make sure you guys, if you guys aren't following both of them already,
Who are we? I don't know.
there we go. Go out and give them a follow on their Twitch and Twitter feeds. They are great content streamers, specifically for Star Citizen and other games. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining, and I will catch you on the flip side.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All
Been
right.
fun.
Night, guys. Have a great time.